Oops.
Hey, there should be sound now. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, we just went through like 4 minutes introducing ourselves and rambling and didn't realize there wasn't sound. I think there's sound now though. So,
I have no idea how to tell because I can hear you anyway.
Yeah.
It should come as a delay if you have the thing.
Okay, yeah, I can hear it now.
Okay. Yeah,
mute
please
that now.
confirm if you're in the chat, sound off, say hello, and type the word dramatization into the chat.
Oh, yeah, you guys have just started coming through.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, muting that, because that is a delay of about 2 minutes.
Yeah, that would be horrific. Yeah, okay, I have, like, the technical setup involved in streaming anything is so difficult that I don't know. Rachel in the chat pointing out that there is sound now, so that's good.
Excellent.
She seems disappointed.
Oh no, there's sound now.
Shit.
Oh gosh. We spent like 4 minutes talking about our histories with Homestuck. We revealed some really like deep secret things in that time that you'll never know.
It got really personal.
Yeah. But I don't know.
That's all lost now.
Yeah, let's run through the introductions again really quick. I see Rachel saying dramatization, so that's a good sign. My name, as it has been in the past, is Tom. My pronouns are he, him. I will also respond to they, them. That's fine too. But he, him is, that's the one I usually go with. And I'm gonna read Homestuck to you, and I have some friends with me here, and we'll start with the newest member of the read through, and that is Christy.
Hi, I'm Christy. I've been in the chat before as Sesquidoodle, so you may or may not know me as that, probably don't. My pronouns are she, her, although I will also respond to they, them, because whatever. I got into Homestuck years ago now, probably during... I think when I started reading it, I said this earlier, but I'll say it again because it's funny. It was sort of partway through Act 6, and by the time I'd caught up, it was still partway through Act 6. And I believe it was Hex that actually got me to start reading it. And it became this very intense thing that sort of consumed my waking life. And so this is a weird rush of nostalgia, sort of looking at it again, sort of taking me back to that time and that place. So yeah, fun times.
Cool. And I'm also once again joined by Evan.
Yes. I'm Evan. They, he, and I also started reading halfway, like in the middle of Act 6, which is most of Homestuck's runtime, as it turns out.
Yeah. And once again joined by Hex as well.
Hello, I'm Hex, they, them. I don't remember when I started reading Homestuck, but I remember my friend giving me a Google Doc with like the names of all the trolls and everything, so that I could like figure out what was going on as I read. And it was somewhat helpful.
I think in a sense we've always been reading Homestuck.
Yeah.
We always will be.
Yeah, if you're here in the chat, sound off so I know who's here. I know some folks are here. Anyhow, because I can see numbers. I can see the numbers that there are at least 6 people here. But
yes.
You don't have to if you're shy.
I assume 3 of them are us. So.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's probably true. So there's at least 3 other people here. That's fine.
Rachel and 2 people.
Yeah, basically. So we're starting on...
Rachel's just got to open in 3 different windows.
Yes. We're starting on page 758 if you care to follow along in your browser. If you don't, then you can just look at your YouTube screen. That's fine. That'll do it. And we're starting from the end of Act 2.
I love these curtain graphics.
Yeah, they're very nice curtains. I should...
they're so good.
I don't have curtains in my home. I should get curtains like this. Okay.
Do you have blinds, or do you just like have the outside just streaming in all the time?
No, I have blinds.
I have a shower curtain. Does that count?
I guess that counts.
Yeah.
I have that.
Some nice tassels for it.
Imagine if you had blinds for your shower.
That wouldn't do anything.
It would stop people looking in at you.
But it wouldn't stop the water from getting out.
True.
Neither does the curtain most of the time.
Anyhow.
Well, then you're doing your curtain wrong. But yes, let's continue.
I like the ones with the little doors.
Dear John, Colonel Sassacre's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. Colonel Sassacre's daunting text of magical frivolity. Yeah, it's on there twice. The Colonel amuses... I can't read that. It's so hard. The Colonel amuses men marginally less soused than he on sweltering Mississippi evening. In true Sassacre form, he put his astonishing julep intake to use with a textbook execution of Butterfinger's Solitaire. And up next, that is Nanatext. So,
yep. Dear John, and then we can just skip the very unreadable part and just go to the part that
looks a
shows it more
amount,
readable.
That looks a surprising amount like my grandmother's actual handwriting.
Ooh.
I don't think my grandmother has ever written English, so
yeah, same.
You are no doubt reading this as a handsome and strapping young man. Why the man grit needed to lift the book is itself a sign of your maturity, not even to speak of the wisdom needed to grasp the nuance of Sassacre's time-tested mischief. I am so proud of you, grandson. How I wish I could have delivered this heirloom to you in the flesh. But I am afraid it wasn't in the cards. For you see, John, like you, this book must yet take a journey. Its journey will end on the final day of my life, and even then will continue some. Though I suppose that will be Though I suppose that will be up to your father. Perhaps he will discuss it with you one day when he and you are ready. But it is your journey I am writing about to wish you luck. There will come a day when you will be thrust into another world, and once you arrive, that is only the beginning. You will soon delve even deeper into a realm of warring royalty in a timeless expanse, a realm of agents and exiles and consorts and colonel sprites, of toiling underlings and sleeping denizens, a realm where four will gather, the heir of breath and the seer of light, the knight of time and the witch of space, and together they will ascend. John, if only you knew how important you were. I regret my passing came so early in your life, John, and yet I feel in my heart we have already met. But what I know for sure is that we will meet again. Until then, John, I do hope your father keeps you well fed. With love, there's actually some publishing info. With love, Nana. P.S. Hoo.
Yeah. Sammy mentioning in the chat that he hasn't read Act 3 yet, but because he had previously read Act 2, so he's back to going in blind.
It appears Nana knew a bunch of stuff.
You're a fortunate man, Sam. Or woman, I can't actually tell. Sorry.
Act 3. Sammy is a
person. Fortunate person.
Okay. So who did we have reading what?
I think I'm the narrator for this.
Yes, you're going to be the narrator for this newly introduced character.
All right. A silly girl naps by her flowers. It is quite likely that she tired herself out with a variety of silly antics, as silly girls are often known to do. She may have a silly name too, or maybe not. It is hard to say for sure without asking her. But since she is slumbering peacefully, it would be a shame to wake her up. You might as well just give her a name right now.
Enter name. FARMSTINK, BUTTLASS.
I guess her name is FARMSTINK.
Wake up.
You try to rouse FARMSTINK from her slumber, but she is really down for the count. It looks like she's holding some sort of note.
Retrieve arms from...
They're right there, in plain sight. Look, they are flashing red.
Drop pumpkin on FARMSTINK.
What pumpkin? You see no pumpkin, and frankly, it is hard to imagine there ever was a pumpkin, in plain sight or otherwise. Anyway, that would be a really terrible thing to do to poor, sweet FARMSTINK.
Read note.
I guess I should read the note? Oh, you read the note, yes.
FARMSTINK! That is incredibly silly and a little bit rude. My name is
Try again. Jade Harley.
Jade Harley.
Woo. Next.
Yay.
Oh. She awakens.
Examine room. Rachel in the chat saying, Nana's letter is when I first knew I would fail a Homestuck vocabulary quiz.
Yeah, they sure did just dump it all there.
Yeah.
Your name is Jade. You have just woken from a restful nap, and as usual, you have no recollection of having fallen asleep. You have quite a number of interests, so many, in fact, you have trouble keeping track of them all, even with an assortment of colorful reminders on your fingers to help you sort out everything on your mind. Nevertheless, when you spend time in your garden atrium, the only thing on your mind is your deep passion for horticulture. What will you do?
Jade, play a silly flute refrain. Oh, let me enable Flash.
Enabling Flash.
Why is my Flash not enabled?
It seems to disable itself on default.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if uBlocks.
Oh, that's right. You have to play this one yourself by mashing on the keyboard. Yeah, I know you don't get sound from my computer, do you?
No,
Y'all are
I
only
don't think
hearing
so.
me,
No, it's
but
fine.
the chat is hearing it. So you didn't hear the beautiful solo I just played, but I assure you.
I'm sure it was beautiful.
All right, next.
Wow, you really suck at this thing. Maybe you should try playing an instrument you actually know how to play instead, like the one in your bedroom. Honestly, you have no idea where this flute even came from. Things seem to appear and disappear around here all the time, especially, to your unending chagrin, any sort of large orange gourd that might be laying around. You consider throwing the flute down in disgust.
Jade, captcha flute.
On second thought, it was a perfectly nice flute, and there's no reason to take your frustration out on it. You just need some practice. But before you captcha the flute, you will need to set your fetch modus first.
Jade, set modus.
Oh boy.
Oh, we got. This is a rollover page. Okay, we got.
Memory.
Yeah, we got memory to start with. Operation. Guess Who. Ouija. Battleship. Jenga. Connect 4. Clue. Yahtzee. Monopoly. Pictionary. And Boggle.
I appreciate the use of the game, what the game's like actual logos.
Yeah, that's very it's very good.
Like
The Luigi fetch modus?
No,
All right.
Ouija.
Ouija.
I know.
Wow,
Have
Luigi.
you not
fetch.
seen the Luigi board video?
No, I haven't seen that.
Oh my god, it's beautiful. I will find it for you later. Please remind me.
Okay.
It's just a bunch of Yahoo Answers who wrote Luigi board instead of whatever.
Wonderful.
And a guy doing a voiceover, and it's really funny. In any case,
Mhm.
you have a wide variety of fetch modi to choose from. You were really excited when your grandpa bought you this modus set for Christmas. He is a total badass, even if a little strict. You typically opt for the memory modus when it comes to matters of day-to-day practicality.
Jade, select memory.
You set your modus to memory and capture log the flute. You allot 9 cards to the modus from your deck, since that will be more than enough for your needs at the moment. The modus grabs 9 more cards for matching purposes. The flute is split up on 2 blank cards and mixed randomly into the grid. To retrieve the item, you must first pick 1 card and then pick its matching card. For the typical Solidexer, this modus presents a frustrating guessing game and a lot of wasted time on mismatching. But you like it because you seem to have a knack for always guessing right on the first try.
Jade, squeal like a piglet and fertilize some plants.
It is an awfully silly idea and is basically a waste of everyone's time. You will predictably disregard this thought and focus on more sensible objectives at once.
I appreciate that she is holding the bag of fertilizer.
Yes.
Next, well, there she goes. Oh my god, this is so much fun.
Yeah,
Wow.
the pig is not referenced again as far as I remember. But hey,
I
I
don't think
apologize to everyone who had to hear me squeal like a piglet.
next.
It was as Homestuck told you to do. You capture log the bag of fertilizer.
Jade, consult colorful reminders.
You tend to have a lot of things on your mind at once, and you can be a little forgetful. So you keep a variety of colored strings on your fingers as reminders. Each one means there's something different to remember at a certain time. In fact, looking at your index finger reminds you that there's something important to remember now. It is your friend John's birthday. The green string reminds you that John's birthday package will arrive today. The blue string also reminds you that John's birthday package will arrive today, though in a way that means something completely different, or slightly different, rather. You are further reminded that you have some things to do outside your house soon, but you should stop by your room first for some supplies, and most importantly, to see if John is online and wish him a happy birthday.
Jade, capsulog the pumpkin growing next to you.
You snap up that pumpkin, which seems suitably ripe for the taking. Hopefully, the safety of your Sylladex will prevent it from being spirited away like so many of its ephemeral predecessors.
Jade, exit this room. Next.
I guess she is exit the room.
Mm-hmm.
Exiting. You make your way to the middle of the garden atrium, where a stairwell joins the 4 atrium wings. Upstairs is your grandfather's laboratory, as well as your bedroom.
Jade
needs to clean that window.
The window?
Yeah.
There's ink stain on it.
There's an ink stain, which we will speak no more about. Jade, capsulog something.
Your memory modus is hardly any fun without much stuff in it, so you decide to stock up on some fresh produce to fill some more cards. You pick a juicy red crab apple.
That's like the happiest apple I've ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next.
You go pick a nice looking key lime.
Next.
Is this where these fruit graphics first showed up then?
Possibly.
Yeah, they could date back to a Hussey work that I'm not familiar with, but I think this is the first time they show up in Homestuck.
Mm-hmm. Then a delicious mandarin orange. Those are your favorite.
Next.
And finally, a ripe yellow eureka lemon. And
Next.
It's the happiest of all. Oh God, there they go. Modus fun aside, you feel it is impossible to have too many fresh fruits and vegetables on hand.
It's good pandemic advice as well.
Mm-hmm.
Jade, go upstairs to bedroom.
You almost never use the stairs.
Next.
You transportalize upstairs. Just above is your room.
Jade, ascend.
You enter your bedroom. On this side of the room, you are immediately confronted with numerous artifacts highlighting your various interests.
Next.
You are an avid follower of cartoon shows of considerable nostalgic appeal. You have a profound zeal for marvelous and fantastical fauna of anthropomorphological persuasion. You have an uncanny knack for nuclear physics and not infrequently can be found dabbling in rather advanced gadgetry. You enjoy sporadic fits of narcolepsy, your love of gardening transcends the glass confines of your atrium, and you are at times prone to patterns of precognitive prognostication. You consider very briefly the question, what will you do? But you quickly realize this is only half of your room, and is therefore host to only half of your interests to choose from.
Sammy points out in the chat, perhaps the most colorful Homestuck has been so far, which is probably true. I feel like the years in the future parts they're in full color, but the color scheme isn't as varied as this.
It's a desert.
Exactly. And a purple bunker. Anyhow, Jade, explore the other half of your room.
Over here, there are yet more articles of your aforementioned interests, and then some. Additional telltale signs of your enthusiasm for nostalgic television mingle with your assortment of game-hunting firearms. You are a skilled markswoman, though your crosshairs will never settle on an innocent creature, anthropomorphically persuaded or otherwise. Your work table is littered with equipment to facilitate your tinkering. For you, experimentation is not a particularly exact science, and you lean heavily on sharp intuition for consistently and eerily optimal results. Nevertheless, you have still not been able to get that broad, flat gizmo there to work, which is a design you have borrowed from one of your grandpa's more mysterious inventions. You are a great admirer of his, and you're not alone. Your grandfather is a world-renowned explorer, naturalist, treasure hunter, archaeologist, scientist, adventurer, big game hunter, billionaire extraordinaire. He has taught you everything you know. But in spite of all his lessons, it is still difficult to escape his stern lectures when you are on your way out of the house to run your errands. He spends most of his time in the grand foyer, stewing in his own intensity and charisma.
Concerned by the green rocks and radioactive.
Yeah, looks pretty
paraphernalia.
I'm concerned by the manthro chaps, honestly. But yeah. Next.
Today will likely be no exception. Among the errands you have planned is to venture out and find your pet and best friend named Becquerel. This animal must be fed, and he will not be happy if he is not. And if he is not happy, then you will not be happy. First, you really should dig out your computer and say hi to John. Now, what will you do?
Jade, quickly retrieve firearms from wall.
You equip your trusty hunting rifle. There would be hell to pay if Grandad caught you leaving the house without it.
Just got the rifle kind, Specibus.
Yep.
Jade, wonder why the design on your shirt changed.
There isn't much to wonder, really. You left the wardrobifier on its randomization setting.
Next.
You may contemplate which shirt design you favor the most and commit to that setting in the near future.
I think, is this when Hussey posted a poll in the forums?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah. Because I know
That makes sense.
I know they referenced the poll more directly later, but I think this must have been when it was posted. It would have been weird if it was like the Squiddle or the Ghosty one, since that's too similar to
Well, the ghosty one basically is John's in a different color, isn't it?
Right. Jade, capsulog nearest Squiddle's doll and hug it.
Just before you can grab one, the powerful electromagnets concealed in their underbellies become activated, and two of them get all tangled up with each other playfully.
Tangle
buddies!
Tangle buddies! Have you ever heard the Squiddles album?
I think I have, actually, yeah.
It's not one of the ones I go back to as much, but next.
You capsulog the Tangle Buddies.
Jade, lose interest in fauna and never speak of it again.
Oh my gosh.
This is written
right.
Clearly a comment by an anti-furry.
Oh, but you could never do that. What marvelous creatures they are. What a daring dream to combine the finest qualities of humanity with the elegance and nobility of the animal kingdom. How you wish you could know their world, to hear one night those muted paw pads traipse up your stairs. A low but friendly growl unsettles your slumber, and as the soaker seeps from your eyes, they detect a sharp pair of ears cutting moonlight. A mysterious woven tongue invites, okay. Wouldn't those ears suit you? Would not this proud long snout assist you in the hunt? No need to answer. Words slough from the busy mind like a useless dead membrane as a more visceral sapience takes over. Something simpler is in charge now, a force untouched by the concerns and burdens of the upright, that farcical yoke the bipedal toe. It now drives you through the midnight brush, your paws whisking through creepers, unearthing with each bold stomp bright odors demanding investigation. But not for long, as you and your friend must claim the night with piercing howls moonward. You eat a weird bug and don't even care.
That sounds nice.
Homestuck said furry rights. I like the furry Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff too.
Yeah, same.
Jade, pick up your toys.
Speaking of which, you pick up and admire one of your Manthro chaps. They are wonderful friends and always cheerful and pleasant fellows. Why, dear Mr. Coxcomb, however will you be received at the barnyard gala without the trappings of a proper gentleman? Each Manthro chap comes with a number of accessories, including articles of formal attire, a vaccination kit, and a dishwasher-safe slop trough.
Jade, organize all your dolls.
Gather all your dolls into a rather cozy-looking pile. Tangle
Buddies down there. The poor blue one is just left out.
Yeah. Jade, change wardrobifier setting.
You deactivate the wardrobifier's randomization mode and set it to cycle through these 3 shirt designs. The decision was tough, but you think you came to the best possible conclusion.
Yeah, you click that and it gives you the poll results from the forum. 1,669 people voted. Interesting. Nice. Jade, look out window.
It is another beautiful day in your neighborhood. It is peaceful and quiet as usual. A rather imposing volcano looms over your house, which has been inactive for centuries. Though dormant on the surface, the volcanic activity deep underground provides your house with a source of geothermal power. You are not sure why your grandfather decided to draw from this source of energy when he had the unlimited power of the atom at his disposal, but it has been this way for as long as you can remember. You have chalked it up to your family's long-standing propensity for eclectic fursuits. Wait, you meant pursuits.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't want your house to melt down, Jade.
Maybe.
Yeah, so being next to a volcano is fine.
Jade, retrieve fursuit from magic chest.
What is this nonsense about fursuits? You do not own a fursuit. You think anthropomorphic fauna are really cute and enchanting and all, but it has never occurred to you to dress as one. Sure, it is fun to imagine what it would be like to run wild with a pack of wolves, or purr and frolic with a litter of kittens, but dressing up as an animal just seems ridiculous. It would still just be a silly girl draped in a raggedy, synthetic, tufty piece of crap, and seriously, who are you trying to kid with that sort of baloney?
Aww.
Anyway, it is not a magic chest. It is your gadget chest, which you have adapted for storing a number of useful gizmos. It was once your oracle's trunk, a gift from your grandfather, of course, and still contains many silly fortune-telling knickknacks, all of which are completely bogus.
Jade, open chest.
Among the fortune-telling knickknacks are these items: a crystal ball plus compulsory velvet pillow, a tarot deck, a magic 8-ball, a magic cue ball, and one of your favorite books of all time, Problem Sooth. Among the useful gizmos are, of course, your computer, which you keep inside a fun lunchbox for easy transport, and a couple of gizmos you keep handy so you don't always have to make the long trip to the kitchen. There is a cookalizer for preparing delicious meals, and a refrigerator, a name which clearly is a wacky variation on the much more common household item, the refrigificator.
Is that canon now?
Yes.
Doesn't Rose have a refrigerator?
She does. It has a...
Like a
Yeah.
normal... It looks like our refrigerator.
It has a picture of it.
Yeah, it's the one.
Yes.
It's the one with the fridge magnets and the W and the yeah. Jade, examine magic 8-ball and magic cue ball.
These things are stupid and useless.
When the magic 8-ball isn't being frustratingly ambiguous, its forecast is always wrong. You have tested it numerous times with certain facts you know to be true. This is its reply when you ask if it is your friend John's birthday today. It says, not exactly. See? Stupid. You guess maybe it could be used as a reverse prediction device and always trust the opposite of what it says. But that seems dumb to you. And anyway, this thing gives you a bad vibe. You might consider smashing it, but you're a little superstitious about whatever ominous consequences that might have, even if the occult talisman in question is a cheap piece of garbage.
Is this the first time we've seen an 8-ball in the comic?
Yeah.
Maybe?
I think so. And a cue ball.
Yeah, because we're before the whatchamacallit, the
Intermission.
have we had the Midnight Crew versus the...
No. I mean, the Midnight Crew have shown up briefly.
Yeah.
But
The bit where Dave reads it
Yeah.
and then skips ahead.
yeah.
I was in the chat for that.
The magic cue ball, on the other hand, is set to make predictions with alarming precision and specificity. Unfortunately, it lacks a portal on its surface that allows you to view the prediction. You put both of these pieces of junk back in the box.
Jade, captcha refrigerator.
You take the refrigerator. You might as well grab the cookalizer too. No portable kitchen is complete without it. You take your lunch top too, because obviously you're going to be using that pretty soon. Whoops, there goes your flute. But who cares?
Jade, feed your friend.
Before you go out to feed Beck, you will need to prepare a meal for him. You clear out some space on your work table so you can set up your refrigerator and cookalizer.
Next.
It just runs over everything.
Yeet.
Right. Just for fun, Jade allows you to take a stab at matching the cards to use the gizmos. It doesn't present much of a challenge for her, so she figures she might as well step aside while providing a few generous hints. Nope. Nope. Warmer. Warmer. Cooler. Cooler. Cold. Warmer. Yes. No. Cold. Ice cold. Warmer. Warmer.
This is one of those interesting metatextual things where who is you in this situation?
Yeah.
But
I feel like that they could have done that as a flash page and then they didn't.
yeah.
But they didn't want to. Too much programming.
Next.
You have selected the key lime. Way to go.
Oh, look at the little guy bouncing around.
It's having fun.
Try again.
Hot. Wait. No. Cold. Really cold. Frozen fucking tundra.
Take another crack at this.
Congratulations. You advance your matching skill to the new level. Yukon Hero, Legacy of the Frostbite Amputee. Jade is beginning to regret breaking the fourth wall for this ill-advised escapade.
Okay, one more time.
If it were known in advance how terrible you were going to be at this matching game, the author may have given second thought to preparing this cool interactive Flash application.
Ah!
Look at all these fruits on the loose. Good luck trying to settle them down.
Fruits on the Loose is my new band name.
Yes.
Next.
You just deploy the gadgets yourself.
Jade, stick fruits in the refrigerator to keep them fresh.
So the you here refers to Jade now.
Yeah, now it's...
Right.
Yeah.
But previously it was you, the reader.
Yeah.
Amazing.
These fruits are unlikely to become less impudent anytime soon, regardless of where they are stored, but you stick them in anyway.
Fresh, impudent, yeah. Anyhow, next.
You take a look at the refrigerator's rotary interface. You wonder what he is in the mood for today.
Jade, press the steak button.
Okay, well, it's a rotary dial, so there are no buttons to press, but whatever, that doesn't really matter.
Let's see, how
You
are we
dial up
supposed to tell that from your drawing?
Yeah.
Well, it
pretty
said
flat
rotary.
looking.
It did say rotary.
Oh,
so.
did it?
That's
I'm a
true.
dumb shit then.
So are the other readers, I guess.
Yeah.
You dial up a thick T-bone steak, which you are sure Becquerel is in the mood for, because he is in the mood for steak every day and is never in the mood for anything else. But he does like his steak well cooked.
What a weird dog.
Next.
Yep, there's a little
Thaw,
dial.
cook, irradiate, and mushroom cloud. Jade, lightly irradiate steak.
He does prefer steak rare after all, but you will not dignify the thought of turning the knob much further because you are not dumb.
Next.
It's beautiful.
It is.
You capture log the irradiated steak and save it for your trip outside. You probably shouldn't waste much more time. You wouldn't want all those nice depleted steak isotopes to settle down.
Steak isotopes.
Jade, examine the atomic base by your bed.
You wouldn't exactly call it an atomic base, but it is heavily customized to accommodate a high level of musical virtuosity, the perfect instrument for the eclectically spirited. You've tuned the strings way down, of course, because your stumpy arms can't reach the low notes.
Oh.
Next.
You switch your eclectic bass to its advanced setting, but you promptly switch it back since obviously it's too complicated to play it in person like this. The default setting is your preferred mode for casual jamming. And since you can't possibly waste enough time playing music, casually jam is exactly what you're going to do.
Jade, play a hauntingly relaxing bass line. I think this is one of the pages whose music was changed at some point.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the member of the music team who wrote the song that was originally on this page didn't want to be associated with the project anymore for whatever reason.
Okay.
I think there was some
Interesting.
drama there, but
That's interesting.
but yeah. So
I remember liking the
happened
old
there?
song, but I also don't remember what it is now.
yeah, I could not hum it for you, but
Yeah, no, neither. I remember liking how the kids' sort of music lines like played. You could put them together,
Yeah.
I'm sure that was intended as
harmonize
well.
with each other. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Does that mean that that John's haunting refrain changed? Because like that, I do remember.
no, that one's. I think I know this one changed. I think
Yeah.
John's Showtime was.
Yeah.
It also
Because
changed.
that's iconic,
It also changed very early into the comic. It was like
right?
a year and a half ago. A year and a half in, not
Yeah.
a year and a half.
So like by the time I was reading, this was the
Yeah.
one.
Right.
But I've gone and sought out the old versions, and they're good.
Yeah, you can have it somewhere. And as we didn't comment on the package slowly drifting downward on the parachute, but
Oh, and also she lives on the island with the frog temple.
that's true. This is
That might also be important.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I take that for granted, but like we saw the island in the Flash at the end of Act 2, and now all of a sudden we see it here, and it's where she lives.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, like the music, Homestuck Bandcamp, I would say, go buy the music. I mean, it's probably, I don't know, the music contains spoilers if you haven't read
Yes.
ahead, I guess, but I don't
Yeah.
know. And I think it just keeps getting better and better as it goes.
Yeah, there are like the act of like listening to the music and then watching the flashes that the music are for after you're familiar with the song is kind of weird. Like
I understand that, yeah.
when it came when because like for a while there were songs that they hadn't had flashes for before. And then I was like really into the songs, and then suddenly they would make flashes for them, and then suddenly I was like, oh, okay, now I'm gonna completely recontextualize what I think about the song, because now
Yeah, that's how I felt about Megalovania being in Undertale, because like I'm
now it's a
sure you
meme
guys did
song.
as well. It was in was it in Homestuck, or was it just like
Yeah,
part
it
of
was
the
in
soundtrack?
Homestuck.
It was
I think
Okay.
it originated with I think like a Mega Man fan thing that Toby Fox
Earthbound.
has done.
It was an Earthbound
fan
hack.
thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, it's his music that predated Homestuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still around.
And then when he made Undertale, he put it in that as well.
I kind of like the Homestuck version better. Maybe that's just because I heard it first.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, this is the thing. I associate it with, you know.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow, Jade, caps log base.
Friska, parentheses Friska.
Yeah.
We don't know who that is.
No, we don't.
Oh yeah.
Sorry. Take the portable amp
did nothing wrong.
from the wall socket too.
Jade, open lunch top.
You like to make yourself comfy in your plushie pile before getting down to business with your computer.
That would be so awful for my back if I did that.
Yeah,
it doesn't look very supportive.
Friggin' 13-year-olds.
Jade, get down to business.
To defeat the Hunts.
I
wish my laptop experience was like this.
I wonder what that background is.
Yeah, like who drew that random dragon?
There is a mysterious appendage in frame.
I suspect that the random dragon was drawn by Google image search.
Probably.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know how Hussey gets away with like using like copyrighted images in Homestuck as much as he does.
Oh, there's also an interactive part of this page.
Is there?
There's a thing that you can hover over that says no, nothing interactive here, sorry.
Yeah, that's cute.
Where?
In the top left.
Top left.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a minute. I have to make it load again.
Does hovering count as interacting? Can't click on anything. But...
No, yeah. That is cute though.
I would consider it a type of interaction.
Also, they all have like fictional web browsers. Jade's is Echidna. Yeah. Anyhow, Jade, activate Pester Chum.
Hey, look, John is online. Hooray! Also, it looks like Dave pestered you about something yesterday, but you missed it.
Jade, pester John.
Also, I will point out there's like a troll slum here.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's...
So we had previously only seen the chum roll, which was ectobiologist, tentacle therapist, and turn tech godhead. Now we see new characters in the troll slum, including carcinogeneticist, Arachnid's Grip, Twin Armageddons, Terminally Capricious, Caligula's Aquarium, and...
That's gotta be I mean, if the chum roll is your friends list, this is obviously your block list.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to work very well.
It's where you put the trolls.
Anyhow, Jade, pester John.
Hi, happy birthday, John! Heart.
You greet John, but he does not respond. He's undoubtedly gallivanting around his house in a state of barely restrained birthday mirth. Mirth Day. He may also be retrieving the 2 packages and the 2 envelopes, which you are certain came in the mail for him earlier. You will wait a little while and see if he returns before you head out.
Jade, see if Dave left you a new sweet wrap.
Hey, you're asleep again, aren't you? Or do you even know if you are? I still don't know how that works. It does not appear so, but you never know with that crazy and cool guy. So cool.
So cool.
Next.
Okay. Here's the full text.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
There's a lot of this.
Oh, no. You're asleep again, aren't you? Or do you even know if you are? I still don't know how that works. It's like nothing means anything. It's so cool getting hella chumped by your coquettish damn riddles all the time. I don't know why I believe anything you say. I'm like the Grand Marshal of Gross Chumpage, waving around my chump ductor baton, Assistant Director of Chumpography, celebrated author Ernest Chumpingway. Week. Chumpelstiltskin. Chumple dipshit. Yeah. Your sleep, Y/N, ASL, S equals species. Baboon, kangaroo rat. If kangaroo rat, yiff twice, please. Okay, well, you're not saying anything, so I guess whether you're non-awake or unasleep or whatever, you're just not around and I'm wasting good material. Even worse, I'm wasting a killer persona here. Like, I don't know, like a wide open V-shaped leotard and a fuck ton of body paint. Some like sinewy back arching Cirque du Soleil looking motherfucker, always low to the ground, getting a good prowl on. Like I dropped my keys in the dark. Nimblest son of a bitch who had the gumption to glue a nasty pair of latex cat lips to his face for a reason that wasn't a joke. Jade, hey, where are you? Seriously, I'm sitting here tonight with a fucking bag of kibble jacked open on my lap and primed for goddamn bears. And you're gone.
What?
I don't know. Bears don't eat kibble. I mean, they probably eat whatever they want.
It's primed for bear, singular.
Primed for bear. My name is Aquidi Permusk. Hardest buttock in the jungle. Tempered steel. Hey, yeah, just wanted to give you this remix I finished. Here. Turntech Godhead sent Garden Gnostic file explore remix.mp3. So yeah, you don't have to respond to any of that, by the way. I'll probably forget half the shit I said anyway. Talk to you tomorrow.
Explore was the song in the end of Act 2 Flash. So Explore Remix is another song on the soundtrack. So
Will we hear it in like a second?
Oh, do we? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Jade, open Fresh Jams. You open the Fresh Jams media player and add Dave's remix to the playlist. Yeah, you can listen to the various different...
I like this.
The Showtime remix. A Grieve remix. That's Rose's theme. Verdancy.
Oh, I see. So you got the kids' different symbols there. So I guess that tells you which of their.
I like Oh God What.
Yeah.
Oh God What remix, which is like double Jade.
Yeah. Rediscover Fusion. Crystal Anthemums.
Crystal Anthemums!
I love this one.
I prefer Crystal Methemums.
Yes. Another track. Much later in the soundtrack, but...
I think I like Crystal Methicans.
Yeah.
Keep on going with these names.
And then Explorer Remix, the new one.
I'm really bad at telling those apart.
Mm-hmm.
Same.
Yeah, the ones that have very similar names.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Anyway, you open the Fresh Jams media player.
Oh,
go for it.
I think we already
I
said
don't
that.
remember. And add Dave's mix to the playlist.
Yeah. Sorry. Jade, open Echidna and go to mspaintadventures.com. And then we're at mspaint.
GT, buckle vacantly at these shenanigans.
It begins to dawn on you that everything you just did may have been a colossal waste of time. End intermission. Okay, yeah, so we have this crappy-looking drawing of John. We got the toilet with the cake in it. And some...
Back when we were with Dave, like, the MSPAINT Adventures in this universe was running a story about the Midnight Crew instead. Since this is end intermission, it may have like gone from that to this as an intermission to the Midnight Crew story.
I think this is prior to that.
Is it?
Chronologically.
Oh god, yeah, no, we've got time things going on.
Yeah, because or maybe I'm confused. I don't know.
No, I think you might be right.
But I think
think
we're about to go into something else. But
well, this is a random page, and Dave's part was like him skipping ahead. So I guess both of those are on.
Oh,
pretty
true.
much
Yeah, you
random
navigate
pages.
Yeah, but we okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Hex.
All right. You open your web browser and visit MSPA. You navigate to a random page in the middle of the latest epic. Looks like he was just finishing up some sort of weird tangential intermission here. Whatever it was. It clearly advanced the plot in no relevant way whatsoever.
End intermission. And we go to Midnight Crew, Act 1031.
Told you. I love Midnight Crew music.
Yeah.
Good.
This has they have their own side album in the soundtrack.
Yeah. Diamonds Droog.
Mm-hmm.
Club's Juice. Hearts Boxcars. Spade Slick.
Casino.
The Felt. Whack, 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 whack.
Piano.
Midnight Crew.
I believe this is also one of the Flashes that had their music replaced.
Oh, really? Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, because the original version of this Flash had the moon dancing with the music.
Oh, huh.
Okay.
Weird.
And now it doesn't. So,
yeah, it's interesting that there's like this. That's one of the more like, I don't know, one of the more ambitious flashes so far.
Yeah.
But it has nothing apparent to do with anything we've seen so far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, as I say, I like that, within the universe of Homestuck, MSPA exists, and since it obviously can't be telling Homestuck as its main story, it's doing the Midnight Crew instead.
I'm sure the reason why he did this was because some user was just like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if they could go to MSPAINTadventures.com?
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, maybe I could do something with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Midnight Crew, by the way, is very. I don't know. It's more tonally reminiscent of Problem Sleuth than it is.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
Homestuck so far,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Midnight Crew also predates Homestuck.
Does it really?
I think it was for some was it a fan work or?
So from what I understand, he used to take commissions for custom commands. So like if you donated a certain amount of money, he would answer a custom command that people would send, and one of the commands was like, hang out with the Midnight Crew, except the person commissioning it had their own idea of who the Midnight Crew was, and it was like their D&D group. And but Hussey didn't know that, so he just made up these characters called the Midnight Crew.
That's pretty cool.
Well, all right.
Okay. Anyhow, next.
You've killed a little time, but still no sign of John.
Jade, Pester
She's
Dave.
on Fur Affinity
Oh, yeah.
in
What?
the background.
Oh. Hi, Dave.
Oh, hey, sup?
Not much. Sup with you, bro.
We have seen this one, right?
I think we
Said
have,
previously,
yes.
so
Yeah.
we can go over it again.
We don't have to. But...
Right.
Um,
Good one. It's all right. Being chill, I guess. You know how it goes.
Great. Feeling cool today, Mr. Cool Guy?
Oh man, you know it.
So cool.
You know shit is ice cold up in here. Shit is wicked bananas, I am telling you.
Smiley face. So have you talked to John today?
Yeah, we were just talking a little while ago about how he sucks at his Sylladex. Can you believe he uses stack? That kid is ridiculous.
Lol. Well, that doesn't sound like much fun.
What was it you use again? Wait, never mind. Forgot whenever we talk about your goofy moduses, I get a migraine. What do you want with John?
Smiley face. I want to tell him happy birthday and ask him about his birthday package.
Oh yeah, I was being sort of cagey and told him to check the mail because I was wondering if mine came yet.
I think it did.
Yeah?
And I think mine came too.
So, I guess you want to know if he likes it or something?
No! He will not open it. He will lose it.
Oh, wow. Sorry to hear that, I guess.
No, it's good actually. Because he will find it again later when he really needs it. Which, of course, is why I sent it in the first place.
See, I never get how you know these things.
I don't know. I just know that I know.
All right.
Anyway, I have to go. I have to feed Beck, which is always a bit of an undertaking.
Man, if I were you, I would just take that fucking devil beast out behind the woodshed and blow its head off.
I don't think I could if I tried.
Yeah. Say hi to your granddad for me too, okay?
I have no idea how to read that face. Yes, I guess an encounter with him is almost certain. It is usually intense.
Well, yeah, isn't it always with family? But he sounds like a total badass.
Yeah, he totally is. Anyway, gotta go.
See ya.
Heart.
That's you, Evan.
Oh, whoops. Dave, Strife.
Okay.
Oh, right. He just cut the thing in half.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's loud.
Round 1, Strife.
God, this song is good.
It's so good.
I love this one.
Oh, I turned Chrome sound way down.
Yeah, I did that too.
And when I look back, Dave is being danced on by little Cal.
Yes.
I like how you can see Bro in the background moving Cal around. Just very quickly.
The
oh my
terrifying
God.
close-up on Cal's face is good.
Yeah, I just
I
got
know.
that.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this song is good. Okay.
Yeah, we're back to Jade now. So.
Wow, that was
Rose is online.
That was our intermission. That was the
Yeah.
whole intermission.
That was the intermission.
Shortest intermission ever.
Right,
Jade,
Rose
Pester
is
Rose.
online. Yes.
Oh, that's also probably me. Even
Yeah,
though
that's you
we've
too.
also
Think
read this
so.
one too.
Yeah, we can do it again.
Or
is it too
have
long?
we?
No,
No. This is before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think this is new.
Yeah, this is new. Okay, cool. I require a font of frighteningly accurate and infuriatingly non-specific information. Do you know where I can find a wellspring of this sort?
Yes, okay, but we can't talk for long.
You have plans?
Well, yes, I do, but it's just that you will lose your internet connection soon, and we won't talk again for a pretty long time. Not until you enter.
Enter?
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about. This was the itch that needed scratching. My avarice for the inscrutable. It is limitless.
Lol, what did you want to know?
You've been insisting today was the big day. We would all play a game you didn't know the name of, a game you said I'd get in the mail, and did. One that would help me answer some questions. But Strider is being obtuse. I can't catch John at his computer. You don't even have the game yourself. And on top of all of that, my internet is unstable. So are you sure today is the day?
There sure are a lot of challenges, but yes, I am sure. Dave is cool. You know he'll come around when the time is right. He just has a lot of work to do first. And so do you. You'll need to keep searching for a stable signal and power source. It will be hard, but don't give up. And don't worry about me either. Focus on playing with John first. It all starts with you two.
Is there nothing else you can say to prepare me for this? I'm sure you think little of blithely upsetting dark forces with Grandpa Moreau over there on Hell Murder Island, but honestly, I've only read a few books on it.
Dark? That's ridiculous. I don't really know what to tell you other than it's not going to be what you think it is. And most importantly, you will have your questions answered, but they will be the ones you haven't thought to ask yet. Just be patient and brave and you'll see. It'll be fun. Uh-oh, looks like you've got to go. Take care, Rose. Heart, heart, heart.
Tentacle therapist ceased pestering Garden Gnostic at 12:54.
Jade, be the other girl. Oh, now we switched.
I'm narrating.
Oh, go for it.
Yep.
Oh, I think I am. Reading the
I think so.
cast list. You are now the other girl several hours in the future. It appears a secret passage in a mausoleum has been opened. It's getting awfully toasty in here. You gather up your belongings, including your dead cat.
Just to remind anyone watching, it looks like that passage was opened up during the end of Act 2 flash by Rose's mother.
Yes. All right. Rose, descend.
Jade, stop being the other girl and pester John again.
Hi, happy birthday, John. Hello. Okay, I will talk to you later.
You spent enough time for now concerning yourself with the future of your friends. John will not be available until later. By then, he will have his hands full, as will you.
Next.
You pack up your lunch top and get ready to take care of some business downstairs.
Jade, descend.
Try as you might, you can't stop your mind from drifting to the fate of your friends. You dwell on a particular configuration of reminders on your finger. This one has a forward button, and it's really big.
And loud.
Boing, 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 boing.
Sassacre.
The Sassacre Massacre.
Really beating up on John.
Yeah.
Rest in pieces, John. What if that hurts in real life, in the game, or whatever?
Oh, he's
How much
revived with
damage do they
cookies.
actually take when they...
Is it just going to repeat now? I think it is.
Yeah, I think it's gonna repeat.
Okay.
So we gotta.
Oh,
That's you, Hex.
Is this also in the future?
Yeah.
Okay. Also in the future.
And
Is it
then-
me narrating? Sorry.
Yeah.
But years, not hours. Under bare white branches, a sentry wakens.
Okay. And then we have the charming giant worm face eating mailboxes.
And PM's not happy.
Mm-hmm.
who's
What a
PM?
nice looking sword.
What's a PM?
Have we met PM yet?
I think so. I think. at
Oh,
least
actually,
the word
they've been called
mendicant
peregrine
has-
mendicants.
Right.
They
Yeah.
have not revealed the gender of this character.
True.
Do we
true.
actually know the mayor's gender either?
I don't know.
I feel like I don't know if gender is even a concept that really applies to the
I'm
exiles.
pretty sure that it does get mentioned at some point, but
Anyhow, that's
And
then
next?
we go next to oh gosh.
Oh, also, PM has this giant sword. But
Yeah.
yes.
yeah.
PM has a
I-
big sword.
I want to read the FAQ walkthrough written by Winnie the Poop too.
That would be wonderful.
This is John.
Oh, is it?
Is it? I thought it was.
No,
Oh
it is
yes, no,
John.
it is.
Oh yeah, this is John, huh? I totally forgot. Okay, cool. And yeah, John is me. So, Section 2001, some stuff about captcha codes and punch card alchemy. Is anyone
That's a
actually
Z.
what?
I think it's a Z, not a 2.
Oh, that is a Z.
Z1001.
That is a Z, as you say.
Z.
I call those a Z, but
I have momentarily forgotten what I call it.
is anyone actually
Zed.
is anyone actually reading any of this, or are they all dead? I don't know if anyone besides us is even alive and playing the game, or if anybody even really cares what we have to say. Rose said I should add some stuff to this FAQ if anything occurred to me, so I guess I'm doing that. I figure at the very least it will be a good reference for just us to use, but Dave probably won't read any of this because he's sort of this whopping stupid horsebutt. Whatever.
Take that, Dave.
I finally figured out what those weird codes on the back of captcha cards are for. Well, maybe not what they're always for, but a way that Sburb has exploited them for an in-game purpose. Every captured item stamps the card with a unique code, and a gizmo in Sburb called the Punch Designix will punch a unique pattern of holes in a... Oh, sorry, I just lost my place. Yeah. Will punch a unique pattern of holes in a card which is derived from that code. The punched card can then be used with other gizmos to duplicate the item and or combine it with another item. I got to thinking about this, and with my amazing hacker skills, I noticed a trend. The whole pattern is based on a fairly simple cipher, converting the CAPTCHA code to binary. And then the binary pattern is punched, where 1 is a punched hole and 0 is an unpunched slot. So here's the table, just to be clear. Yeah, I'm not going to read all of those. But there are values for each different alphanumeric character, including uppercase and lowercase, and question mark and exclamation point. There are a couple of oddball characters, exclamation point and question mark at the end to bring it up to 63. 0 through 63 equals 64 total, i.e. 6 bits. It's a bit of computer science for us. Because the binary representation of the CAPTCHA code characters are 6 bits each, which have a range of 0 to 63. So, for instance, the CAPTCHA code for the hammer is NZ7UN6BI. Look up the index for N first, which is 49. The binary of 49 is 110001. Keep doing that for all the characters, and you get N equals, etc., blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's the pattern that will be punched on the card, but the bits are arranged top to bottom, left to right, in 4 columns, like this. 1010, 1010, etc., etc. Or punched on a card, like this, which is a...
Read that out.
Yeah, it's a tried and true tradition of, like, bullshit ASCII art in Game FAQ walkthroughs.
Yes, could have done that much easier.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that pretty much looks like shit.
That must date back to like when the internet was much less technologically.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
because they're all like
people
TXT files.
text files, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess way back when would make sense for something that needs to be really long, like a GameFAQs walkthrough.
Yeah, I can't remember, like, the first time I used it was probably in like 2001 or so, but I know it dates back further than that.
I always preferred the universal hint system.
Ooh. Wow, okay, that pretty much looks like shit, but you get the idea. So to combine 2 items, you just overlap 2 punched cards. Only the places where both cards have a hole will show through. So it's sort of like a bitwise AND operation on both cards. The new pattern gives you the code for the new item. For instance, combining the code for a hammer, NZ7UN6BI, and a pogo ride, DQMMJLEK, gives a new code with less holes, obviously, which translates to 126GH48G. That whole pattern went on to make the pogo hammer, which is so rad you have no idea. I've also wondered if you can combine items in other ways, like a bitwise OR. That means combining the cards to get more holes, not less, i.e. the new pattern has a hole for every hole on either card. This pattern would be accomplished by double punching a card, like 2 codes, 1 card. I've got to try that one sometime. But there are some mysterious things about all this. First of all, with all the hole slots, there are 48 bits in total, which means there are almost 300 trillion possible codes. And 300 trillion sounds huge, but when you consider it is supposed to account for all conceivable items, including all the wacky combinations of stuff, it suddenly doesn't seem that big. This leads me to believe that not every combination of item has a viable duplicate. But this is kind of obvious anyway, since there are many combinations of punch cards that will produce either a blank card with AND, or a totally punched card with OR. So there are lots of dud combinations out there, and many that will just lead to the same pattern. Like, for instance, a gun and an atom bomb could make some sort of ultimate death ray, but for that matter, a shoehorn in a potted plant could lead to the exact same pattern. So weird. Also, it seems like combined items will always have patterns with either much fewer holes or much more holes than more ordinary items, which will occupy the vast meaty middle of all possible patterns. It is strange and counterintuitive that more complex objects have simpler patterns, but hey, there you have it. But all this sort of makes me guess this system can be cracked in some way. Like, if you have a complicated item and you want to extract simpler item components from it, there might be some algorithm for deriving the pattern you want, or at least narrowing down the possibilities. There might also be ways of charting through the simpler patterns on both ends of the bit spectrum and pinning down the ones that will make cooler stuff. Who knows? I want to ask Jade about this because she's really good at this sort of thing, even though she doesn't have my elite Hexor cred. Too bad she makes herself so scarce all the time. Jade, if you ever read this, let me know what you think. And then there's
the way I was scrolling down, I could only see the top line of the Slimer ASCII art, so it just looked like he was screaming.
Bird.
Bird.
Although it is not Slimer. It's a legally dissimilar green slime ghost.
Oh yeah,
That way they can
Forgot
sell
about that.
T-shirts with it on it.
The Unslimer.
I forgot about that.
Anyhow,
Right.
Next.
I don't remember who's...
I think this is a Rose section.
SN.
So that's you, Hex.
That's me. Next.
You enter the laboratory.
Rose. Look for mad scientists.
There are no scientists to be found, mad or otherwise, or anyone for that matter. The lab appears to be deserted. There is a kiosk, though.
Next. Woof.
It looks like the kiosk monitors the lab's enormous hub grid.
Jade,
Jade,
transportalize as far down. Yeah, sorry. Jade, transportalize as far down as you can go.
The sense this is going to get even more confusing very fast. Right. Me. This is as far down as you can go. The grand foyer is still a few floors down, but the transportalizer on that level is blocked by one of Grandpa's impressive big game trophies, and you just don't think he would cotton to someone moving it. Speaking of which, here are some of his trophies now. He has a million of these ghastly things. You really dislike them.
Jade, proceed.
Is that a deer with human legs in the...
Yeah. It might even have a shoe.
Oh, yeah.
He also has
There's a
shark
griffin.
head.
A griffin and some sort of... Yeah.
There's like a goat with wings and a fishtail.
Is that the same wolf head that appears much later?
Maybe.
I don't know if it's the
sure.
same one, but
No.
I'll be honest, I don't
so.
remember the wolf head from later anyway, so...
there's a very scary wolf head mounted in a different.
Oh, right, yeah. You remember now.
Anyhow,
Right.
Jade, proceed.
Yes. You hop down a level. Granddad also likes to accumulate valiant knights from his travels. These are pretty cool, you guess.
And there's Iron Man there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I missed
He's a
that.
valiant knight.
Where is he?
It comes up.
Oh,
later.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's where that comes from.
Jade, keep going.
Oh, what is
Don't like that.
Don't know. Oh, yeah. How could you forget about his stash of decrepit mummies? God, you hate these things.
I see the
These
same
ever
wolf head
come
again.
up
though.
again?
Yeah.
The mummies? I don't know if the mummies ever come up again.
I
Yeah.
think this is the same room, but with more stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's just like layering
yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Jade, don't stop. This is my favorite one.
Next. I guess the next is yours.
Yeah.
All right.
Next.
This is your grandfather's collection of what he refers to as his beauties. No lovely lady will be fit for his collection unless her portrait has spent at least 20 years bleaching in the front window of a beauty parlor, a sort of establishment he's plundered no less frequently than ancient tombs. You guess they were sort of like your sisters while growing up, and you were always encouraged to look up to them. They were all awfully pretty ladies, you suppose, but it was always hard to get as excited about them as Grandpa. Is anybody in specific being Grandpa?
I
Sorry.
don't think we've assigned
Oh, we
Grandpa.
haven't assigned Grandpa. I'll be Grandpa.
Okay.
Jade, study hard and keep your rifle at the ready. When adventure summons, I know you will rise to the task and take your rightful place among the daughters of Eclectica.
That old coot sure is a bag of wind.
I recently learned why pictures in the front of beauty parlors fade to blue.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where that comes from?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So like if you
Oh.
if you have a picture that's like printed in the traditional way with like yellow, cyan, and magenta ink,
Yeah.
because the way it absorbs light, I think it's because of the blue. So blue light is one of the higher energy forms of light,
Yeah.
and so the ink of the other colors absorbs blue light. Because blue ink reflects blue light and doesn't absorb it.
Right.
So
Right.
the other ink absorbs more energy and therefore like burns away. more quickly than
Interesting.
blue ink does. I learned this because I've been on such a Homestuck kick that I've been listening to the Perfectly Generic podcast a lot. I've been binge listening to old episodes, and they talk
Nice.
about the Blue Ladies, and one of their guests explained this. So I was
That's cool.
I was very pleased to know this.
I had forgotten Grandpa's Blue Ladies.
I always like noticed that blue was always the last to fade, but I didn't know like the science behind it. So yeah, that's cool.
I've definitely
Makes
noticed
a lot of sense.
A game box I have where one of the some of the art on the front had a character with brown skin and he faded to purple. And I was like, oh, the red pigments faded. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's because they absorb blue light, I guess.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rachel in the chat saying, I feel like Andrew Hussey could copyright that shade of green that keeps coming up. I don't know what shade of green she means, though.
Remember there was
let me see if I can go back a bit.
Weird.
Oh, it's like when Rose is in that in the lab, and it's like dark green and light green. And
yeah.
It's almost more of a green palette.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought it was like branding for Esper and Skynet.
Yeah,
that's true too. Yeah,
because like the
in universe, it's the corporate branding.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that shows up so often. Anyhow, Jade.
Although
yeah.
I was just gonna say that the brighter green is pretty much just like default brightest green on a computer kind of thing.
True. Yeah. Like yeah. Jade, complete your descent.
Well, there's this.
Next.
You reach the ground level. This is the stupid thing blocking the transportalizer. It is unspeakably hideous. Down the southeast hall is the grand foyer. You'll have to cross through it to leave the house.
It looks like it's just going.
It looks very familiar too.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like a sock puppet.
Next.
Looks like someone's pestering you, even though you thought you logged off.
Jade, answer. Did I assign myself this character?
You did.
Yes, you did.
Assign yourself this character.
Okay, yeah. Carcinogeneticist, who is from the troll slum, began trolling Garden Gnostic at 1304. What's my voice for this character?
Don't you have like the asshole
Angry?
for dummies voice that you did?
I forget how I did it though.
Your throat is gonna regret.
Hi again, idiot.
Oh no.
So I guess today is finally the day you fuck everything up.
Angry face.
Is there nothing I can do to change your mind?
You can leave me alone. How can you even be talking to me after I blocked you? And after I logged out?
You don't get that I am better and smarter than you in every way, forever. You don't get that because you are incredibly stupid.
I get that you're a jerk and you should shut up. Goodbye, you jerk. Garden Gnostic blocked carcinogeneticist at 1306.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I did that in her voice.
I think when we were reading the Data Structures for Assholes book by Buckminster Funny Uncle, I think I remarked that voice became a more frequently used voice in Homestuck. And I was reading the like I said, I've gone full Homestuck, so I was reading the author notes in the print version of book one, and Hussey mentioned how like it was like a common fan theory that somehow this character was also Buckminster Funny Uncle, even though that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Just because he wrote it in the same way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's all Hussey. Anyhow.
All right, Rose, look at that kiosk.
Oh, it's me again, sorry. Looks like a mapping of each hub's index. It appears one of the hubs was recently unlocked.
It is unlock SN_lab 0413. There's also a hub grid thing at the top.
Mm.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever that means.
I feel like if I knew more about some obscure branch of computer science, this would make more sense to me.
Maybe.
I mean, it's 413, so who knows? It's probably just that.
That's true.
Rose, go to the center and do a goofy dance.
At the center, you find a little stage that looks perfect for supporting a spectacularly silly dance. Or it would if standing on it didn't make you a little nervous, and also if that didn't sound like a stupid idea given the circumstances. It looks sort of like the various contraptions you've been deploying in John's house. You wonder what it does.
Rose, attempt to plug laptop into nearby hub. Jaspers is ready to dance.
Great, you just vaporized your dead cat. Oh well, ashes to ashes, you guess. There's got to be a better way to deal with this lousy tree.
Rose, examine fetch modus.
Bye, Jaspers. Looks like you can choose between picking leaves or awkwardly uprooting the whole tree as you've been doing. You select leaf. You also turn off auto balance since its consequences can be a little mystifying sometimes.
Next.
You gather up all your items again in an order that places your laptop in a conveniently accessible leaf. You're not sure why you didn't do this a lot sooner. Kind of a funny looking tree now, but your concern for structural elegance is at an all-time low.
Rose, find the unlocked hub.
As long as you're going to plug in your computer, you might as well find that hub. Here it is, hub SNLAB0413. It is unlocked and thus removable from the grid. You suspect this was the same beacon transmitting the unsecured signal you were using earlier.
Next.
You pick the laptop leaf from the tree. Quite literally, apparently.
Next.
You plug your laptop into the hub, then capture log the hub, and then the laptop. There must be a better place around here to set up your computer. This huge grid of electronics is sort of uninviting. You look around. Hey, what's that?
Next.
It's another one of those ominous countdowns. You didn't notice it when you first entered the lab about a minute ago. It looks like this one may have been ticking for years. Whatever it's ticking down to, there isn't much time. You can only hope that when you turn your computer... You can only hope that when you turn on your computer again, there will be a connection invitation from one Mr. Strider. This is unestablished in.
Yeah.
Again in the future, which may or may not be me. I don't know.
Another timer winds down sideways. And we see the head of that beast having been decapitated by that sword.
No, it was so cute and large.
What? Oh.
It's a very precarious stack of mailboxes there.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a letter in one of them.
Oh, yeah.
This is, yeah. I feel like this character would not enjoy the current president of the United States' plan to disestablish the post office.
I'm trying to click on that arrow at the end, and it's not doing nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
This is not a back arrow, this is the wrong kind of page. This page is called Winds Down Sideways if you look at the address bar.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's the timer.
It's also in the Wayward Vagabond folder.
Yeah, the subdirectory.
This is not Wayward
yeah.
Vagabond. It is the Peregrine Mendicant.
Mendicant.
Dave, abscond. Click.
Can't abscond, bro!
Yeah.
Round two.
Strife! If this was actually a video game, I bet this would be a pretty epic boss battle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this music.
I do too.
Yeah.
I really like I like Bro's character design a lot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's my favorite of the Guardians character designs.
Oh, I think Dad is probably my favorite.
I think Dad is my favorite of the Guardian characters, but I think Bro is my favorite of the designs.
He's just such a bro.
It's very Bro.
Remember
here comes
how,
Tal
like...
again. I warned you about stairs, bro. Told you, dog.
It keeps happening!
It keeps happening.
What does? You don't have time to rumor... You don't have time to humor every random thought that pops into your head. The clock is ticking.
Rose, look around for anything else of importance.
This looks like something of importance.
By the way, Rachel did confirm in the chat that she was referring to lab logo green.
Right,
It
next.
appears to be Skynet's primary session terminal, monitoring a great number of SBURB sessions in the northeastern United States and parts of Canada. Upon further investigation, you draw some logical conclusions. It looks like each session consists of an IP address and a physical location. The colored dots on the map appear to be meteor impact sites. It seems each session corresponds with a meteor, but not all meteors have sessions. Color of the dot appears to indicate the status of the meteor's descent. The red dots indicate meteors that have already landed. Yellow dots are imminent collisions. Green will impact later, and blue will take the longest to touch down.
Next.
You use the panel to center on your present location and zoom in. Surrounding the lab are, of course, the hundreds of smaller meteors that have been raining down steadily throughout the evening. Most of these meteor brackets have either landed already or will shortly. Centered over the lab is a significantly larger imminent collision. You can't say precisely how imminent, but you could certainly take an educated stab at it. Just southwest of the lab, centered suspiciously near the location of your house, is an even larger looming collision, though this one appears slightly less imminent. The terminal looks like it can monitor any meteor or session around the world. Search filters can be applied as well, restricting results based on size, time of impact, location, and so on.
Next.
You zoom way out and narrow the search based on size. The two at the top of the list appear to be the biggest by far. You examine only their coordinates. The second biggest is centered over a US city. The biggest by a landslide is, luckily for the Earth, you suppose, way out in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Rose, turn on your laptop and check on John.
I don't know US geography. I'm not great at British geography, honestly. Can anyone tell what city that's centered over?
So that's in Texas somewhere.
Texas.
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's either Austin
Dave's.
or Houston.
It's Dave's place.
It's big enough that it could be like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How big is this meteor? Is it roughly the size of Texas?
Yeah.
Earth is
Almost.
under siege by the planet fucking Jupiter.
Foreshadowing.
Oh shit, get in the minivan. I know that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
I love Dave's
one.
sort of massive tangents like that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I love
they're great.
I love that. I love the he just keeps talking even though
Yeah.
the other people have left the conversation.
I've done that.
I was gonna say we all know someone like that, and then I realized
That's
I think
me.
it's me.
It's everyone. We're
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
that person. All right, Rose, turn on your laptop and check on John.
You plug the laptop into the hub again and turn it on. It is now powered and connected to the wireless signal the hub is broadcasting. Your SBURB session reconnects.
Next.
No
Ooh.
sign of John here. You wonder why the house is shaking. Last time you saw him, he was on one of the roof platforms. You will have to navigate via the SBURB interface to find him. I keep changing
Rose,
whether I'm saying
ascend.
SBURB or SBURB.
Navigate.
Navigate.
Oops, oops.
Oh, zoom.
Little.
Very like.
Navigate.
There's more
Zoom.
imps. Oh!
Loud sounds.
Boing 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 boing
Got
boing
the
God,
boings?
it's getting so fast.
Big blast of energy from Nana. Thanks, Nana.
Here comes the refrigerator. Oh shit.
Whoops.
No, they use the
He's
refrigerator.
in the oven!
And on
she,
the
just,
Boing.
she almost baked John.
I don't think an oven would be a very comfortable place to land.
You know the bit in Lilo and Stitch where she's hiding from Nani at one point, and she hides in the tumble dryer?
Yeah.
That got edited in the UK version of the film.
Really.
so that it's now just like a weird cupboard with a round door. Because they didn't want kids climbing into tumble dryers.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I don't know why this for you guys. Does this page have like several back arrows instead of just one?
Yeah, so
Yes.
I think you can like go right back to the navigation part,
Oh,
or you
okay.
can probably just go to the bit that you want.
Yeah,
I'm not
for a
gonna
second
click
there, it looked like there were like 3, and one of them was
Mhm.
placed on top of the other in a weird way.
It actually does look like that because of the opacity
Yeah.
Yeah.
as it comes in and out.
I mean, I recognize the big things of grist, obviously, and there's oil-looking stuff, and then what's the white blobs? And do I want to know?
One of them is
it
shale.
looks like oddly smooth stone from Slay the Spire.
God, Animal Crossing has really cut back on my obsessive Slay the Spire play. Anyhow,
are you like me? Are you like me? Can you just get like super into one game in particular to the exclusion of everything else for like a solid month, and then you never play that game again?
Mostly, I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake is still waiting for more of my attention. But...
That's fair.
Yeah.
I wish that was on PC.
Christy,
So
I
now
think
we're
this is
John.
you.
Oh, sorry. John, high five Nanaquin. Left hanging low enough.
Good work, John.
Oh, hey, you're back.
For now, I'll have to leave again shortly. It looks like there's another large meteor headed for my present location.
Oh, so you mean Dave connected with you?
Not yet. I'll explain later. But I think I've determined that activating the timer in the game is not directly responsible for summoning a meteor to your location. The countdown seems merely to exist as a kind of warning to the player, as well as a strange coincidence.
Okay. I don't really think I get it. Is this relevant?
Probably not at the moment, and certainly not to you. I have to go.
Okay, later.
P.S. Try not to waste too much of that grist while I'm gone.
Is there anything he can actually do with the grist?
Alchemy?
Yeah, he can alchemy.
Oh, yeah.
He can do alchemy. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Grist.
John, climb that ladder.
Boy Skylark.
Who is Rumpus Buster, Boy
Oh, this is me.
Yeah.
Wow, we've literally done. Okay. You rocket up the ladder to the dizzying heights of the vaunted Boy Skylark rung. Your new feather is hard-earned and well-deserved, and alarmingly fashionable.
John, collect
so
fat
happy.
loots.
Yeah,
He does look
so happy.
Loots.
You and your ceramic pork hollow rejoice in the mound of wealth yielded from your meteoric ascent up the ladder. You are still not sure what all these boon dollars can actually get you, but when pulling in such insane loot, hand over fist like this, who cares? Not you. And
The
I
leveling
guess,
the leveling system in Spurb doesn't seem very well balanced.
yeah, have we
John,
seen all of these?
Pick up as much grist as you can hold.
We definitely saw at least up through Cool Buckaroo, because I remember talking about my Chuck Tingle conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah.
And I remember seeing Boy Skylark. And
Yeah.
I think this is at the very bottom of the scroll bar. So I think we've seen all of
Yeah,
these.
Rumpus Buster and Lodestar Youth are the only ones left on this section.
Okay, pick up grist. Your expanded cash limit is more than enough to accommodate the grist windfall. You gather up 2,260 pieces of build grist, 1,040 pieces of shale, 490 drops of tar, and 350 drops of mercury. I guess that's
Answers
mercury.
my question.
You can't wait to find out what amazing items this new supply of grist will be just barely insufficient to produce.
That is an extreme gaming mood.
Yeah. Next.
Oh God, there's grist littered down there too. Those stupid ogres were like huge grist pinatas. One of those big sour grape electric one of those big sour grape electric Holocaust fruit gushers is jammed in the hole in the platform. You guess there's only one way to get to it.
Who's Nana?
I am
Oh,
Nana.
next, sorry.
Oh.
John, don't forget your book. It is your birthright. You ought to give it a read when you, oh god, the color is making it hard to read the text. You ought to give it a read when you have time, you have a moment, particularly the first several pages.
Okay, Nana, I will. Hey, Nana.
Yes, dear.
It's adorable.
Since I am trying to get up to that gate, and since you can sort of conjure floating beds and throw me around and all, couldn't you just throw me up to the gate?
Yes, of course, John, but that would not serve your purpose well. There is a very good reason why you should build up to it, and then keep building.
Oh, okay. I guess that's what I figured. So just one more thing. Do you think that instead of telling me exactly why that is with a clear explanation, you can give me a series of really coy riddles about it and then sort of giggle?
John, you are a very fresh young man. Your father has done much a wonderful job raising you. I am so proud of you both.
I guess.
When you pass through the first gate, everything will change. You will find the place where the constellations dance beneath the clouds, and then your true work may begin. Hoo hoo hoo.
I suddenly understand everything.
John voice reminds me of Morty.
I haven't watched that show. I think I'm too
Oh.
afraid of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I believe this is me.
it's odd. Elsewhere, we find a place.
Yes, this is me.
Oh, yeah.
Elsewhere, we find a place.
Because we're in the...
And this is you.
Yeah, that's right. Where a kingdom lies entrenched beyond an impenetrable veil of darkness.
Next. God.
It was a little party.
That's a shaving cream noise.
That was Barbasol was the brand of shaving cream that I used to use before I, went full podcast and started buying from Harry's.
It probably shouldn't surprise me that it's a real brand, but somehow it does.
Yeah.
Next.
Oh.
Oh, that little sad face. Pow!
Graveyard stuffers.
Oh yeah, that's not me. I don't know. I don't actually know what bit we're in at all.
You are now.
So
Oh, also, this person looks very familiar.
Oh, that's true. This person looks very much like Spade
Yeah.
Slick.
Yes. You are now.
That one's Christy.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just where's the cast list? What's going on? The Peregrine Mendicant. You are flying westward in your peculiar mobile station. You have no sense of your bearings presently. The door is blocked by a metal column which extended through the entry shaft before liftoff. What will you do?
PM, check mail.
This message to Dr. Brenner looks pretty serious.
Sure
I
says.
believe this is like a weird reference to something, though I don't remember what.
Attention, serious business. PM, open envelope.
Never. The mail is sacred, and sacred is the trust between the postman and the recipients of his precious parcels. You have made a solemn pledge to deliver this letter to the doctor. Just as soon as you determine where this address is, or find any sort of discernible mailing address in this wasteland for that matter, the mail is freedom. The mail is life. The mail is the very fabric of civilization. Wait, hold that thought for one moment.
Next. Next.
The mail is the one final hope for resurrecting a dead planet from its ashes, and the letter carriers are the brave soldiers of God in this righteous crusade. They are the defenders of the light of knowledge, free communication, and the exchange of ideas. They are the bold toters of all those little papery conduits of freedom, the white postmarked angels that whisper a message on their deliverance, a promise to the yearning. There is hope yet. Liberty, reason, justice, civility, edification, perfection, mail.
I wonder what is meant by God in that.
PM is also crying a little.
Yes. I love PM.
PM, examine keyboard and screen.
It's the terminal you used to activate the station's homing mechanism. It looks like it has now returned control to you. The default viewport displays commands previously entered, including your last and only command, home.
PM. Type arrow view.
PM. Type stuck. You type another one of the previously entered commands. It switches to a view of a young girl standing alone somewhere. There is a heavy amount of video interference of some sort. The girl seems familiar to you.
So
Great.
who's
I forgot to assign someone for these,
Oh.
but, so I'm assigning myself.
Okay.
Okay.
I forgot that there was that there are PM this PM dialogue or prompts or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Greetings. Don't I know you?
Next.
Next. Yeah.
Ooh, very shiny.
Ooh, boom.
Boom.
And then yeah,
we're back to Rose.
we're back to Rose.
Rose, refuse to acknowledge the absurd tea set.
Well, that was
You successfully disregard the tea set because it's stupid and shouldn't be in a place like this. You probe further into the lab. Looks like a little girl's room. This all strikes you as a bit odd. No time for messing around in here, though.
Rose, wear the scarf. Be the rider.
Okay, maybe you'll do a little messing around. You're only human after all. Oh, it's that!
you see
Next.
4 little eyes pop
4
out
eyes.
of it.
Yeah.
You're accosted by a friendly mutant kitten. It's so cute.
You again.
Oh, is it? John, resist great urge to take the wedged shale.
You know, that's me. Yes, you know you should grab this thing, but you are suddenly feeling apprehensive about entering your father's room. With all the scampering around, it almost slipped your mind how much you hate his hideous clans. No use putting it off any longer. There's only one thing left to do. Give me a D, give me an E, give me an S, give me a C.
John, jump down.
Plus 50.
Woo! Next.
Is this the inside of John's room? What?
Back to Jade again.
Jade, scamper into grand foyer with wild abandon. Last scamper.
You scamper. Ooh, last scamper. You scamper your heart out and bump into something. You don't know why he always insists on keeping it so dark in here. Oh, look, it was one of his dumb globes. These things make it awfully difficult to navigate the foyer. We get it, Granddad. You like to travel around the world going on adventures and stuff. Lousy goddamn stupid globes.
Is this the first exam? Is this the first lousy goddamn stupid blank?
No, we had lousy
Really?
goddamn stupid wizards.
Ah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jade, arm yourself.
Grandpa will surely have stern words for you if he catches you without your trusty rifle at the ready. That's just what you need, another one of his blustering mustachioed diatribes. You are rolling your eyes in advance, getting them warmed up. But ideally, you can evade him altogether. All you have to do is get past the fireplace and out the front door, and you will be scot-free.
Jade, examine those chaps on the sofa.
These are the Manor's 4 distinguished house guests. They like to gather here by the fireplace for tea time, as well as pretty much all other times. It's all very mannerly and civilized. You know exactly what's going to happen when you try to sneak by. The fireplace is going to light up, and your grandpa's silhouette is going to appear in front of the fire to give you a good spook. He is so predictable.
Next.
And there,
And
he
there
goes.
he goes. The old man has the flame.
So from what I understand, some people misunderstood this panel and
As
thought the grandpa's name was Hass the Flame.
but if
I
you
mean,
That's amazing.
I know a lot of people headcanon that as his name, but I always thought they were sort of doing it like as a joke. Like they didn't really think that was the name.
yeah,
That's
if you
funny.
click that text, it takes you through to a Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff comic.
Right.
This
Bro, I got a ticket for the big game. It's sports.
dog, I am so jealous. You know I love the big game.
Oh yeah. And there
he goes.
The big man has the rock.
He's driving so hard through the paint downtown.
Alley
you-
for the slam dunk.
And then I don't even remember which one's Sweet Bro and which one's Hella Jeff.
I could not.
Oh my
tell you.
God.
I don't think
No.
I've ever known.
But his face is in the thing.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
check.
no, I quite like that. That one actually has like a pretty good punchline that's where his is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at MSPA wiki says that the first character, Sweet Bro, is the one with the beard.
Okay.
Sweet Bro has the beard, so the guy who wears the red
Yeah.
man is Sweet Bro. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And now I'll forget that
definitely
immediately.
remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've already forgotten. Okay.
Today the blue one is one of them, and I don't know which one the other one. I hate them.
Next.
I always
For
got
anyone
confused by
wondering
the
that-
fireplace.
That is a ref. That is not. I don't actually hate Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff. That is a reference to an outtake from Oran High School Host Club's English dub.
Oh, okay.
Which we have memorized. For stupid reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah, the fireplace is very not fireplace shaped. So I
it's
always
also
thought it was a door.
huge. It looks like a door,
Yeah.
but there's fire in it.
Yep.
Maybe it is a door.
All right. You
Door
suppose
into
you could
fire.
still manage to sneak by the crafty old man if you were fast enough. Avoiding encounter would be ideal. Encounters with him are usually intense.
Also, we don't see a place where a fireplace could come out of
Yeah, it's just floor.
in her home.
Like
So
there's
that's
no
what-
Oh,
chimney.
like a
yeah.
chimney.
There's no chimney. Yes, that's what I meant to say.
Jade, leap dramatically across the divide.
Go for it, and whoops. You guess an encounter with him is almost certain now, but most likely not for a while. Time to see what someone else is up to. Oh, let's say Dave.
S. Strife. Is that me?
I think so.
Yes.
Yes, that's me. Strife.
Time for another strife.
I'm sure
Okay.
this is-
Then it's
Snap.
Jade.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
Preloader.
Psych out.
Yes, I am going out with this gun. No, I will not go get a bigger one. No, I will not take yours. I can't even lift it.
Did you skip
Oh,
that?
yeah.
You
Oh, I
skipped
think I
past the
did, didn't
strife
I? Oh, I'm so
animation.
sorry. Was
Yeah.
there actually an animation? I didn't actually.
Yeah, no, there's
I'm
there's like an
dumb.
interactive here. I click a grieve,
Oh, shit.
and it gives you the option to press keys to do different attacks. Like this,
Oh,
I press
I'm so
Q, it goes
sorry.
pew pew.
Oh, I
That's
really
fine.
like Y. Y is good.
Why?
Nice.
Yeah, I've got it
I
now.
would like
Oh,
to also
yeah,
press, Z.
Z. Oh yeah, makes her
Zed.
sleep. L. Yeah, these
P's
are pretty.
pretty good too.
Which one?
Oh my god, Al.
Yeah,
Oh, H is great.
H. Yeah, the tiny pew.
You.
She on his head.
Yeah.
Pachu.
W is poo.
Yeah.
W. Oh, poo.
Pooh.
Pew.
There. Oh, if you click the period button,
A is good. A is a good one.
period and slash,
Oh yeah.
she's on the mantle.
Yeah, she goes up to the mantle.
All right.
Fall asleep.
Is this significant that she sleeps on the gold side?
Huh. Could
I
be.
think you know the answer to that.
And you also see a picture of her in strange gold pajamas.
Okay.
Okay.
These
Anyway,
are fun.
All right.
next.
Let us move on.
Yeah, sorry. I jumped the gun there. I didn't realize what was
It's
happening.
okay.
No problem.
Yes, I am going out with this gun. No, I will not go get a bigger one. No, I will not take yours. I can't even lift it. Oh, that is so preposterous. Do you even hear what you're saying? I will be fine. This is a perfectly deadly gun and it shoots lots of incredibly deadly bullets. Oh, will you just stop it? I am going now. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Heart.
We we should point out that that her grandfather is a stuffed corpse.
Which
Yeah.
do people actually do that? That sounds really morbid.
Human
Or
taxidermy.
like taxidermy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's been done.
Sure.
Yeah, it must have been done at some point. I imagine it's probably not legal. And
Yeah.
she must have done it herself.
Ooh.
I would think.
Jade's
How
a bit
old
crazy.
was she again?
So Jade is a bit crazy, right?
A little bit.
Just a little. Just a little.
I mean, even aside from like taxidermy or dead grandpa, I'm somewhat stuck on the fact that she like gets into arguments with him.
I think that's a pretty honestly a healthy coping mechanism.
Does she know he's dead?
Yes.
Oh, I think she knows that.
If you continue. Which
but-
I
Yeah,
did
oh
by
yeah,
accident.
yeah.
Yeah. I also like. I don't know. I feel like she is one of the most Homestuck of all. Like,
Oh yeah.
because she lives
Yeah.
alone on an island with just her dog and her dead grandfather.
Well, we don't know it's a dog yet. It could be.
Yeah,
beast.
true. Well, now we know because
Well,
I've said it. But...
Well, we've referenced dog
It's so hard
media
to-
in relation to this character.
It's so hard to keep track of what's a spoiler and what has already been revealed.
That's true, yeah.
It
Because
really
I can't
doesn't.
remember when so much stuff happens.
Yeah,
feel
it
like-
doesn't really matter.
yeah, no. I mean, it's kind of it's kind of fun because anyone who's reading Homestuck probably knows like that there are green character, like not gray characters with there are green characters. There are green characters, but there are gray characters with candy corn horns.
Yeah, we've already
Yeah.
met the green characters.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
The felt.
I thought you're not talking about John's pogo slide then.
No, nor the lime.
The true hero of
Key lime.
Homestuck. The key lime. It will be the key to our
Or the
survival.
other completely different green characters from Act 6.
Yeah.
True.
If anyone ever, if you ever read the Homestuck fanfic called Brain Bent, which is a sort of they're all in a mental institution AU, which
Is it
Yeah.
like is it like an actual like AO3 fanfic or is it like a
I think
fan
it was
venture?
I think it was on Tumblr.
Oh,
Okay.
Or at least I read it on Tumblr. But the backstory they had for Jade in that was that her grandpa had been like a sort of crazy survivalist prepper. And
That
she
seems
basically, until he died and she ventured out on her own to, when the food ran out, she had no idea that the world had not in fact ended in
Oh, I see.
apocalypse, which I always thought was like a really kind of good take on what we see here with Jade's sort of isolated
yeah. And anyhow,
situation.
Jade abscond.
It was so much easier to deal with when he was alive.
Blah blah.
Blah.
Oh.
PM, miraculously survive.
My head is on fire.
PM, peer out explosion hole.
Oh no, the
Bye,
mailboxes.
The mailboxes. They're going.
No.
One of the wormy things.
Oh, but a friend appears.
Love.
The little heart. The little gray heart.
Yeah.
Is there something written on the side of that?
On the side of,
Of
I think it's just scratches.
Oh, it's just
Yeah.
scratches.
yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
Could
it's
be
just
where whoever it was, his name has gone.
used to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rose.
Is that
if you
actually a
acknowledge-
thing? Like you put the family name on the mailbox?
Yes.
outside the house?
I've seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to, but
We don't have those kind of mailboxes here.
With the arm swingy dealy
Yeah,
flappy.
yeah, no, we don't.
the mysterious
Yeah.
arms when you.
We have like a flap in a hole in the door covered with a flap that is referred to as a letterbox.
Yeah, and it just goes on the ground like in Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I
Just
mean
like-
that bit in Harry Potter is actually completely accurate to
Yeah. No, we
To
literally
British
had
mail.
that.
So
Including
many
the
ways
part-
Harry Potter is accurate.
Including the part where all of the mail comes out of the fireplace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That definitely happens,
That's
too.
how the Royal Mail works. No, I mean there's a lot of stuff. It's really funny, sort of a funny thing about Harry Potter is just how much like confuses some American fans that you just go, no, that's just Britain.
Yep.
It's like a lot of it. They just go, so this is some wacky magical thing. It's like, nope, no, this is just Britain.
Same
Yeah.
thing.
It's really fun.
Yeah. Rose refused to acknowledge the absurd kitten.
You fail miserably. Oh look, there's some more mad science crap over here.
Rose, insert coin.
This weird arcade gizmo adapted to this setup obviously doesn't take coins anymore, assuming it ever did. Besides, you left all your coins in the fridge, remember?
Rose, let's play a game.
This doesn't appear to be a game. It appears to be an appearifier.
And it's ready. Rose, screw around with the appearifier.
You mess with the controls. Hey, Jaspers is alive! Or at least he was in the past. According to the timestamp, this was almost 9 years ago. Rose got excited for a moment there. You try to move the crosshairs with the joystick, but it seems to be permanently locked on a specific target. You might be able to unlock it, but you clearly don't have much time to horse around with this thing.
Next.
You zoom out. It looks like you and Jaspers were having one of your sessions. You weren't making a lot of progress, though, because Jaspers was no doubt being characteristically recalcitrant. You possibly jotted this phrase down in your pad. It's hard to remember, though. Wait. Could this be that day?
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Baby Rose and her little notepad.
Yeah, this would be like 9 years ago because of its.
Yeah.
So
Minus
she's,
So she's 13, she's 4.
Oh my god.
She's 4 years old, she's wearing lipstick.
A concept that a baby should not know.
Wait,
Like,
is it
therapy.
actually exactly 400?
It's
340 divided by 365. It's about 8.6.
8.6. Yeah.
Are you
Not
accounting
including
for leap years?
No, I'm not.
all right, Rose, cause time paradox.
You attempt to appearify Jaspers. This would surely cause a time paradox because you can plainly see that he has not told you his secret yet. But it seems the machine has a safety mechanism to prevent such irresponsible appearification practices. Do we know about Jaspers? Do we know about Jaspers' secret yet? I can't remember.
No,
No.
I think this is the
remember.
first time we've heard about this.
Okay. The paradox
Next.
ghost imprint of Jaspers appearifies instead and quickly settles into a mound of sludge.
Look at the little kitty. He's playing with the scarf.
The machine beside it sucks up the paradox sludge and begins some kind of automated procedure. It seems whatever sort of primordial biochemical properties the sludge possesses is being evaluated by the device.
Cat.
The device That's a sound effect. The device generates a fetal paradox clone of Jaspers. The wretched creature exhibits a number of unfortunate mutations, though. The good news is that it will be mercifully unestablished along with this facility shortly. This is also the bad news. Whoever was operating this machine in the past may have been making unsuccessful attempts to perfect the science of ectobiology.
Which I think
Gross.
is the first time that term has appeared outside of John's
Ectobiologist.
And it's
handle.
in green.
I'm a little troubled by the fact that she sees like a mutant kitten fetus and thinks, good thing it will be killed soon.
Also worth noticing that the readout on the machine is like AG, ATC, etc.
Oh yeah.
Like, which is all
DNA stuff.
Cat.
DNA stuff. I forget
Yeah.
what the term is.
Which
Cat.
has already been a motif.
Yeah.
in
It's
Homestuck.
there's gonna be someone who listens to this who like actually knows about biology who laughs at me. Is it like the base pairs or something? Or
Yeah, like adenine, guanine, thymine,
Yeah.
and cytosine, I think.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't even know
I-
those.
Yeah,
I did as little science as I could get away with.
yeah, I
Same.
know. I know the terms. I just don't remember what exactly they do. But I know they're the
Yeah.
four like building blocks of DNA. so,
I know
yes.
it's what DNA is made of, and I know that I sort of think of it as like, you know how binary has 2 digits?
DNA has
Everything's
4.
ones and zeros, DNA has 4. That's probably horribly wrong. I hear Umbra in the background, by the way.
Oh, that's Ori. He's
Is it
crying.
Ori? Oh,
Mhm.
but Ori, there's mutant cats on the screen. Ori.
You could be like that. All right, Rose, have a flashback.
There's no need for a flashback. Conveniently, you can watch what happened right here on the monitor. You roll the clock forwards a few seconds. Jaspers reveals his stunning secret to you in strict confidence.
I love whenever the tiny little red
that's so
exclamation
cute.
point shows
Yeah.
up.
Before you
Little
could ask him to
hands.
clarify... Oh, I clicked next, sorry.
Go ahead.
Before you could ask him to clarify, he vanished into thin air. You now believe you understand why. However, you were not the one to appearify him from this moment. Your hand was nowhere near the controls just now. A couple of weeks after he vanished, his body washed up along the riverbank. His suit was a mess. Your mother fitted him with a new one just before the absurd funeral service she insisted upon.
I just realized, like, we were led to believe that the outfit that Jaspers wore when he was dead was like a new thing.
Yeah.
It turns out he just wore it all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like it was probably, I mean, my guess is that it was intended to have been like, she put the suit for the funeral, how weird. And then Hussey got to doing this bit and realized that without the suit, it wasn't recognizable as Jasper's.
Or he just forgot, and then the forum reminded him, and then he just came up with this line to retcon it.
Or I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that we've only seen Jasper's like lying down in the coffin, I'd say he's just reusing sprites. But
right,
whatever. If I
Rose, trace Jasper's whereabouts on the machine.
Dead. You roll the clock forward to a week after he vanished. It seems there is no accessible feed tracing his whereabouts during that time frame. You fast forward another week. There he is, just as you found him.
Rachel says in the chat, he got dressed up for therapy.
Yeah, which I don't have to do now because I do remote sessions.
Everyone does remote sessions now.
No one's got to dress up for therapy. Yeah.
I never bothered. I'm just like, I'm going to turn up in my unwashed clothes because I'm depressed and that's why I'm having therapy.
Yeah, same.
Oh, poor little sad Rose.
Hex.
Yeah, Hex.
Oh, Rose, fast forward to now.
There's a secret flash in this one.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is there?
Secret flash? The little sad meow.
Yeah.
I'm a bit ahead because I just clicked through without thinking.
Oh.
Meow!
Reminds me of that one video of the chorus boys doing that weird cat song.
I love the cat blinking.
Yeah.
I love the kitten. I want a mutant kitten.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's so sad.
Oh, I found the secret flash. Bottom right corner.
After it finishes. Facepalm ×2 combo.
Kick, kick, kick.
And now it's elsewhere. Oh yeah, you get the little horseshoe symbol.
Oh, yes.
You click on it and it brings
Clicking
you to
on it now.
Ride.
This is the best flash in Homestuck.
Which, oh yeah, and it gets called back to a few times.
Yes.
Good music as well.
Yeah.
I like how, because of the way the sprites are, she's basically just standing on the pony's back.
Yes. With their scarf flapping in the wind.
Yes.
And then the
trashy little art,
trashy line drawings.
I also like how the pony has no eyes.
It has a name. It's Maplehoof.
Oh yeah.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry, Maplehoof.
Well, maybe the nose is the eyes.
Oh.
That's horrifying.
No, I feel awful.
Can't really
about it.
see it.
Have you seen the? Nay. Have you seen that Twitter post of the drawing of a bear in a cave painting, where someone was the way they've drawn this is actually quite sophisticated because the way they've done the ear shows they had an idea of this is a 3D object, and then people got into a thing of whether the one little circle on it was meant to be an ear foreshortened or whether it was its eye. Because if it was an ear foreshortened, then it has no eyes.
It's a good flash.
Yeah.
It is. Next.
It's Jasper's! He's alive! Well, okay, he's still dead. But his body is intact. Turns out it wasn't some kind of disintegratificator like you thought. It's more like an escapalizer.
Rose, A purified jaspers immediately.
Good thing you finally got all this sorted out. You only have 10 seconds to spare. Time to stash the dead cat in the amscray.
Rose, stop fooling around and transportalize out of there.
Pretty decent escapabilize. Sorry.
Escapalization.
I managed disintegratificator and
pretty decent escapalization.
But escapalization, no.
Who's Jade?
Jade, locate and feed the devil beast you call a pet.
This one's me, yes.
Yeah.
Good luck finding him. If he wants to be found, he will find you. Becquerel has always managed to elude your prognosticative faculties. He is completely invisible to your intuition somehow, a property almost totally unique to him. It used to freak you out a little, but you have long since grown accustomed to it.
Next.
What the hell are these green blobs in the landscape?
I think they're supposed to be like shrubs or something.
They're tiny.
Maybe.
And then we see a silhouette that's
comes.
very familiar.
Next.
Huh? Oh, it was nothing. Nothing at all. Moving right along.
Jade, retrieve the package you expected to arrive.
The birthday package you were expecting from John arrived months late, and yet right on time. It landed over there, past the crumbling monument, a satellite to the great mystic ruins at the center of the crater lagoon.
John, triple somersault into room, etc. Stick the landing.
Okay, you do that. You are now in your dad's room. Where are all the clowns? You spot your dad's briefcase beside you. It probably contains all sorts of clues, or at least various forms and paperwork critical to his trade as a hilarious street performer.
The fact that the iron has been left sitting on the bed is giving me anxiety.
Yeah.
John, snoop.
I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there's like a really faint Snoop Dogg watermark on this panel.
On the one that says John Snoop?
Yes. I think he does that, but I can't.
I know he's done it a few times before.
Yes, it might not be on this one.
Yeah, I don't see it though.
Oh yeah, here come the secrets. Get ready for some major Wait a minute. These are all just boring business documents and spreadsheets. What the hell is going on here?
John, examine your dad's room.
Okay.
This iconic flash.
Yes. I think the track is called Revel Awesome.
The hats, the shoes. Kind of a boring room. Shoes, briefcase. Just a businessman. Oh my god, it's a prostitute. Not all that into clowns, you guess. Most shocking twist yet. Harry Anderson.
He's got a picture of John.
Who's this douchebag? Ties, shoes,
Not
iron
right.
hat, pipe, Betty Crocker, kick mix, Harry Anderson.
Gone.
John, calm down. It'll be all right.
So, all those years, while you believed he was out busking up the corners with hilarious antics, he was working as an ordinary businessman all along. He was just a man trying to make a good, honest living for his son. Maybe he was too embarrassed to tell you the truth, or maybe it was just that you never bothered to ask. You guess you always just assumed.
I have no idea who narrates this bit or what
yeah,
bit.
Tom.
I'm the narrator. Okay. The human prisoner has broken out of his jail cell yet again. Attempts to block the cell door with heavy objects have proven futile.
That makes sense because he can
Strong
lift
man,
up this
Dad.
safe.
That's true. You're going to need a bigger safe.
This familiar
The Jaws
character,
reference.
Speed slip.
Who's this guy?
Oh, that's me. Yes.
That's you.
Enter name.
And then
Here's some yellow hands.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
interesting. You see some yellow hands on a...
Somebody's obviously typing wearing rubber gloves.
Yeah. Which is very, very good hygiene to make sure you don't get any virus particles that are left on the keys.
Not if you've just been washing the dishes. It's not.
And it says Spade Slick, and this is clearly not the same kind of keyboard that the characters in the future have been using. But
no, this looks in fact like my keyboard.
Oh, really? Yeah, this looks like the keyboard.
Quite similar.
This looks like the one I have in my office.
Yes,
Yeah.
this looks like one that I would have at my office. Yes.
Oh,
Or at
mine's
a school.
mine's not quite the same because my thing actually says start on the start menu key instead of having the little logo.
Oh, huh.
Oh, what?
It's
Really?
It's definitely, yeah. Well, it's got the logo and it says start written next to it. But,
Oh.
yeah. I mean, it's an old keyboard, so Hussy. Well, sorry.
Our
Whoever took the
mysterious.
screenshot. Oh, sorry. Is clearly a Windows
fine.
user.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Anyhow, Spades Slick.
And there's also a window.
That is a window, yeah. Spade Slick, got a nice ring to it, but you know your own name, and that damn well ain't your name.
Take another stab at it.
And then that same person.
State, name, and rank. I guess that would
Okay.
be me.
Yeah.
State, name, and rank.
And you are... Is it Archagent or Archagent? I feel like it's Archagent.
I always say Archagent.
Yeah, because it's like
'Cause
Archangel.
Archangel, yeah.
Yeah.
You are Archagent Jack Noir. You oversee various affairs of a dark kingdom. Presently, you are determining how to deal with this prisoner who has been a thorn in your side since he was apprehended. You view the affairs of the kingdom through a series of fenestrated walls. You have 3 walls, nearly enough to form a cubicle of vigilance, which is a full and proper enclosure for an agent of your stature. However, much to your utter contempt, your 4th wall was stolen some time ago.
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Jack, don comical hat.
I like the use of fenestrated walls,
Yes.
which I sort of only understood because of the word defenestrate,
Yes.
which is throw something out of a window,
Same.
which I've remembered only because, like, it's such a specific word.
Right. This frivolous headdress turns your stomach, and by the way, it is like much like what the imps are wearing. It's like a very gestury looking thing. You'd sooner stick your head in a furnace than coax it into this monstrosity's loathsome, colorful maw. It's bad enough that your exalted ruler ordered everyone to drape themselves in these hideous rags the moment the troublesome human with the pipe and his child showed up. But you draw the line at the hat.
Jack, call a minion.
You order one of your burliest agents to the scene. He brings something heavier this time, and obviously this looks very much like Hart's boxcars from the Midnight Crew Flash.
The only reason I remember that one is Hearts Boxcars is because I remember what the other name for the character is.
Yeah.
That has the same initials. Next.
That makes one of us.
Your transmission is interrupted. It seems your glorious monarch has concerns over your wardrobe.
Next.
Fine. I love that expression.
That's such a great picture.
You begrudgingly don the comical hat. Stupid, lousy, wise, and just leader. What a royal pain in the ass.
Going back to the other page, we see that the wise and just ruler or glorious monarch has a ring with
Oh yeah. With some very nice pearls.
three circles on it. There might be a
That we
4th
can see.
hidden,
Or even
And
a
the-
fifth. I don't know.
and one of them is lit up.
True, and the others are not.
It's some very fetching pearl jewelry.
Mm.
She also has a scar.
Yeah, a familiar scar. Okay, anyways.
And
Yeah.
also, like, her finger is, like, segmented
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
insect, or... Yeah. Anyhow.
Jack,
I
throw
have
down
some,
hat
I
and
have some
discuss.
theories, but
Yep.
they are spoilers, so I won't talk about them.
Okay.
Jack, throw down hat in disgust.
You fully intend to once your superior stops breathing down your neck for a second. Wait, what now?
Next. Womp, womp,
Womp 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 womp
Someone's
womp
getting
womp
whomped.
womp, womp.
Womp, womp.
womp womp.
That womp.
Next.
Insert GIF of amethyst here.
Yeah.
Your blood is boiling so hot you could cook an egg on your carapace. Looks like you'll have to go handle this yourself.
That's what the segmented finger be
Yeah.
about, of course. They have carapaces. John, investigate room for anything Dad may have left behind.
It seemed, that's me. Yes.
Yeah.
It seems there are unopened birthday presents, which Dad didn't get around to giving you yet.
John, present time! Open a present to see what's inside.
I'm glad that his only present wasn't that poster. What poster? The Little
Yeah.
Monsters poster?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Little More. Yes.
Yeah.
The one on the right seems promising. You open it up to see what's inside, and oh god, yes, it's a control deck. Bonus-
Fetch moduses.
Yes.
Looks very much like
Inventory
an
management
NES.
system. Bonus
Oh.
capsulog pack and fetch modus inside.
I'm too young for that reference.
I'm also I never had an NES. I'm probably also slightly too young for that. I think it or at least it looks like a.
I think I had an SNES, but yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an 80s or early 90s video game console.
My dad had an Atari ST, but that's a computer more than rather than a console. We were consoleless.
Inconsolable.
Until my brother got a PlayStation 2 for Christmas one year. Then all was good. John, obtain sweet loot.
You tear into this thing and put a mean prep on the sweet loot, mean peep on the sweet loot. In addition to the modus control deck, you get a bonus array fetch modus, plus another 12 cards, which are practically worthless by this point, but hey, you'll take them.
That's the least realistic video game thing ever. When would you not be ecstatic to get more inventory space?
True, but he can also manufacture his own by now.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
And
But they're free.
conceptually, the array fetch modus seems like the most straightforward and easy fetch modus ever,
Yeah.
if you know what an array is.
Yeah.
Right.
Next.
Which I do
wait.
not, but it explains it in a couple pages.
Yes. First thing you do is flush the extra cards into your deck. Okay, this is really just too many cards.
Said no one ever with inventories. Who has
Unless you play
ever
Uno.
said my inventory in this game is too big?
Yeah, I could
God,
use I could use a doubling of my inventory in Animal Crossing. To
Yeah.
be perfectly
Same.
honest.
Same.
John, no matter how big my inventory is, I will always find some way to fill it with crap.
Absolutely.
John, equip array fetch modus.
The array modus allows you to store and retrieve any item from any card at any time. It seems exceptionally serviceable, albeit difficult to weaponize. Boring.
John, read instructions for control deck.
There is nothing to read, really. You just pop some modus cartridges in the slots, fire it up, and see what happens. You start by putting the stack and queue modi in the slots.
I'm glad they've got FIFO and Philo written on them because that is honestly easier to
Yeah.
remember what that means than stack and
Yeah.
queue.
Which is funny because
Next.
stack and queue are like the human readable
Yeah.
are supposed to be the ones that are easier to understand.
Yeah, they're English
But you-
language words.
But you have to think about it while
Yeah.
FIFO and
Sometimes
Philo
real
are just
words
very easy to.
Or
Yeah.
vague.
Acronyms work well for me
Yeah.
for some reason.
Your Sylladex now behaves like both a stack and a queue. Items can now be removed from either the top card or the bottom card.
Oh no. Next.
You see no reason at all not to jam the array cartridge in there too. You make sure to blow the dust out first, of course. The Sylladex reconfigures itself into an array of distinct queue stacks. Now we're talking. This is just the sort of needless complexity you have to expect from your inventory management system. Honestly, that doesn't sound too bad.
Once again, Homestuck makes me aware of just how little I understand about computers. John, unwrap the smallest present first.
You have a staunch policy of always saving the biggest present for last. Always.
The last present for last, huh?
Yeah, The
Really?
biggest present for last.
Next.
You receive
Next.
a box of delicious fruity gushers. Could this birthday get any better? You don't think so. I never had gushers when I was a kid, and then when I had them, like when I was like late middle school, I was like, oh, these are pretty good.
We also don't have them here.
I mean, I feel like they don't live up to the concept. In my
No.
opinion.
not at all.
The fact that they're gummies that have like juice in them or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but they
more of
taste like really fake and
Yeah, I mean, all gummies taste not very good. But
yeah.
like,
It's just that like the juice in it feels more like a vaguely fruit flavored pus. Like it's kind of it's like it's an ooze more than it's a juice.
There was a sort of trend here at one point for basically that sort of thing, like on the British like confectionery brands did something similar. I forget what they were called, but they were shaped like bugs, so it was like these sort of gooey nuts, and it was kind of like a sort of vaguely fruity sugar syrup. It was quite thick.
isn't that
yeah, I
sort
think
of like
gushers are similar.
what jelly babies are?
No, jelly
No.
babies are. It's hard to explain, but they're one texture all through, and it's
Oh, I see. Okay.
really like
it's different
like
from
a
usual.
jello, like a jello sort of texture, like a jelly texture.
Okay. I see.
And then the outside is sort of a bit harder and has cornstarch on it.
I
'cause that's
forgot
how they get
about jelly
mold.
babies.
Do you want
Oh,
jelly
I
babies
never
now?
forget
I
about
really
them.
want.
I
yeah,
asked.
because you guys are very
I got some.
chocolate babies and all that.
I got some. When Mum was doing groceries today, I asked her to get me something fruity, and she got me fruit pastels, which are also very nice.
I have no idea what that is.
They're like a very chewy fruit gummies with like a sort of crunchy sugar coating around them.
I imagine candy is better in the UK. I don't know why.
Some of it is.
I hear the chocolate here is terrible in comparison to the chocolate in the UK.
Yeah, our chocolate is different from what other countries have. Sammy in the chat
to be
is.
honest, I don't know if chocolate in the UK is considered particularly good either.
Sammy in the chat is saying he could get pedantic about the use of array here, but he's going to enjoy the story. I feel like
Yes.
the use of array is basically correct, isn't it?
Well, arrays have a limited size. Like you determine what the size of the array is ahead of time. So that's part of what makes an array an array. But like, I don't imagine it's that different.
I don't feel like that there's a better way to translate the concept of an array to a fetch modus.
Yes, because there's like linked lists, but that's pretty much what a FIFO and a PHILO is versus.
Jill says the concept from the commercials was that gushers turned kids' heads into big fruits. Really disappointed my younger self when they did it. I think I have.
I think
Even though we didn't have gushers here, I think I have seen that advert.
As a child, that's partially why I avoided gushers, because I found that concept terrifying.
Well, the commercials were really like uncanny as well because they still had like their human eyes and mouths
Oh, I don't
on
like
the giant
that.
fruit head.
Oh, yeah,
it was
true,
super
true.
uncanny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We've been here watching him dance Lotus Fruit Gushers for a little while.
John, open the big one.
You thought wrong.
So
it's a business suit. It's a suit.
Looks very dapper.
Man,
John.
now.
John, fill up an entire Q stack with shoes.
Okay, awesome. Q stack's full of shoes.
John, capture log fruit gushers.
Dang, you spaced out and put it in the wrong Q stack. Don't worry, you'll get the hang of this thing.
John, closely inspect fruit gushers box.
Sam says, I mean, all of what we've seen so far can technically be an array, which, yes.
Yeah,
I
true.
agree.
Massive tropical brain hemorrhage.
Well,
is
I mean,
flavor of these fruit gushers.
can the tree be an array? I feel like the tree.
Yes, you can actually implement a tree in an array, and it's like the worst thing ever.
Oh, okay. Can all of Jade's weird moduses be an array?
Oh, probably not.
I like how,
Dictionary
by the way, Dave was like, "Never mind. When we talk about your goofy moduses, I get a migraine." To Jade, he gets a migraine from talking about like Pictionary.
Well, Pictionary is one of the more straightforward ones. It's one we see later.
Yeah.
Shh.
Pictionary, memory, Jenga.
Boggle.
Come on, Dave. Dave, have you never played any of these childhood games? Do you really not understand Guess Who?
No. All he does is fight with his bro.
This is true.
Okay. So delicious. Can't wait to capsulog one of these packs and make like a million gushers. Screw all this building nonsense. You'd rather make candy. Wait a minute. And then, yeah, the only notable thing about this Fruit Gushers cover is the name.
The massive tropical brain hemorrhage flavor, yeah.
And of course the thing that John has just noticed.
Yeah.
Yes. It can't be. The heinous batter witch has gnarled her claws in everything. What do gushers have to do with baked goods anyway? How does this make sense? Why?
Oh, also the other notable thing is that the gushers look exactly like the build grist.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. I should note that we're gonna the next page is gonna be our last page for this stream. So
Okay.
So this will be our big dramatic.
That makes sense. We've been going for over a couple hours now.
Yeah.
Why? John, mental breakdown.
Poor John.
Cool, fructose, monsoon, kiwi mango, colonic rush, wicked, watermelon, groin injury, mixed berry, social anxiety disorder. Oh, that's such a good phrase. Neon green, ecto, facial blast, jam and sour, diabetic, coal. I can't read. It's too fast.
Wild cherry, ancient apocalypse, rant, stressing rampage. Betty Crocker, fruit gushers.
This is stupid. And that's it for the stream.
His entire life has been a lie.
Yeah. He's having a really hard day, all right?
It is.
It's true. The world did just explode.
I do enjoy. It's like two massive revelations, one after the other. First, the revelation that his dad is just kind of like a boring dad.
Yeah.
And then the revelation that Betty Crocker has, has her heinous claws.
But I mean, people in the fandom like give John a bit of shit for like throwing tantrums over stupid stuff, but it's like he's having a very stressful day.
Yeah, it's his birthday, man.
And and I mean, when you're having a really stressful day, like little shit sets you off.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Well, that was a very dramatic reveal.
Yes. So,
I feel like I shouldn't have to ask this. Are fruit gushers actually made by Betty Crocker?
Yes.
Pretty sure they are.
Yeah. Or at least they were at the time. I don't know if they still are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that this was pointed out to Hussey, and then he decided to put it in.
Yeah, no, I googled it.
Other way around.
Betty Crocker fruit gushers strawberry splash. And Wikipedia describes them, incidentally, as American fruit snacks in the shape of elongated hexagonal pyramids.
All right.
That's very specific.
That's very Wikipedia.
Anyhow.
It even has like elongated hexagonal bipyramids is a link to another article about elongated hexagonal bipyramids.
That never changed.
Why is that a thing?
Okay, so we're cutting it off here. This is the end of the first half of Act 3. I've already scheduled the stream for same time next week for the second half of Act 3, which will take us through the end of Act 3. And I've actually also already scheduled the next stream for 2 weeks from now, which is the intermission.
Yay!
That'll be fun.
Intermission.
Yeah. And I don't know, depending on the status of the global pandemic, that might be a good place to cut it off, or we might just keep going through too.
Act 4 is a little long.
Yeah,
I mean, not really. It is like very. It's like Homestuck sort of changes after Act 4, so like it's like. But also, it's already changing. Like, it's weird.
Yeah, for sure.
It's kind of Homestuck. Sort of, we're about at the point where Homestuck kind of finds itself. I think.
Yeah.
Act 4 really is pretentious.
Act 4 is when they stopped taking user commands, and that sort of changes the game.
Yeah.
For sure. And also where we begin to learn a lot more about these mysterious trolls.
Yeah. Because we're kind of at a point where, like, at this point, it's like you've got some pretty clear indications for what it looks like the story is shaping up to be. And Act 4 is kind of where it complicates that, I think. Yeah,
because a lot of the first 3 acts and some of Act 4 is all about talking about how
Yeah.
the game is supposed to work.
Yeah.
And then from a lot of and then starting in Act 4 and then very much continuing into Act 5, you learn a lot about how it completely fails to work that way.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So I think that will do it. And thank you to the three of you for joining me. I hope to hear you all again if you're still interested in coming back next week. But
Yeah,
for sure.
great. And thank you very much for having us.
yeah, it's been
Thank you.
wonderful.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna call it for now. Stay safe, stay homestuck, and stay healthy. All right.
Bye.
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 Bye.